Daddy. Bye.
Oh, goodness, Jim did look funny.
Why?
Well, Gates is ill, so Jim Tapper brought the car round for Daddy, and he's put on Gates's chauffeur coat and cap.
Oh, I suppose he should. If he's deputising for Gates, he's sort of the
I know, but he'd stuffed the cap with paper to make it fit him, and some of it was sticking out over his ears.
Just going to clear away in the dining room, miss.
Oh, we've hardly started yet. We were just seeing Daddy off in the new car.
Well, you were. I couldn't find my shoes.
Well, I don't think Mr. Ashley's been down yet.
Oh, very good, miss.
Oh, we'll clear away ourselves when we've finished. Oh, how's Gates today?
Oh, he's not too bad, miss. Dr. Cropper's coming in again this morning. It's just his cough, you see. He doesn't seem to be able to get on top of it somehow.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, do tell him we all hope he'll be better soon.
I will, thank you, miss.
You must keep him warm and not let him get up too soon.
Oh, I won't, Miss Laura. Come on. Oh, good morning, Mr. Ashley.
Good morning, Mrs. Gates. And how's that husband of yours today?
It's going on nicely, thank you, sir.
That's good. Well, I hope there's some breakfast left. I'm sorry I'm late. Didn't sleep very well.
That's all right, sir. The young ladies are still in the dining room.
Oh, dear. Oh, that's bad news. Well, I hope they've left just one small rasher of bacon for their poor old grandfather. Good morning, girls.
Good morning, Nanny.
Oh, Lady Bourne. You're never up already. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
I am, you know. It's such a lovely day. I thought I might go for a walk, as we're going to spend all the afternoon in a train.
Well, you'll need to wrap up when it's a wee bit frosty outside today.
Oh, I shall before I go out. It's nice and warm in here with your fire.
Yes. I believe in keeping a good fire going this time of the year.
It's always been warm in this room. Mm-hmm. As a nursery when Arthur and Phyllis were small, and later as a schoolroom. Although that governess we had while you were with the Pelhams never got as good a fire as you used to.
Oh, well, that was to be expected, Lady Bourne. There were always things to dry on that fire guard in my day.
When Miss Gribble was here, this room smelt of ink and India rubber, and the children were always buried in their books, especially Phyllis. Oh, how she loved reading.
Oh, she did.
Well, are you all packed and ready for London?
Well, more or less, Lady Bourne.
The girls are so excited. I hear they're taking you to Bertram Mills's circus at Olympia tomorrow.
Oh, yes, well, that'll be a treat.
It'll be nice to see 1937 in altogether, even if it is in London. It's a pity Liz chose to go off and spend the weekend with her friend in Wales.
Well, she's old enough now to lead her own life, and she's very fond of that friend of hers, Jaunty.
So I gather. Of course, Arthur won't be with us either, but I think in a way that's a good thing.
Yes, it would have been sad for him. And, of course, Mrs. Gates will get our poor husband nursed back to health with us all away and the house empty. Oh, she was very pleased about that when I was speaking to her this morning.
Well, I suppose I'd better go for my walk if I am going.
Now, you'll be careful. It'll be a bit slippery on the driveway.
I shall be all right, Nanny. I dare say Mr. Ashley will come with me if he's had his breakfast.
Oh, very good, Lady Bourne.
Thank you, Nanny.
Alice. Good heavens.
Yes, Charles. Up with the lark. I frightened Nanny, too, when I went in to see her. I feel fit as a fiddle this morning because I slept so well.
Oh, well, you're lucky, because I didn't. I had a rotten night. I kept dreaming about Dame Violet. She was coming for me with a bread knife, got up as a nun for some reason.
Oh, I do hope we shan't have to have her here every Christmas from now on.
No, poor creature. She was very kind, but, oh, dearie me, rather irritating.
Yes. You coming for a walk?
Well...
Oh, it'll do you good.
Oh, well, I suppose so. Alice, do you know, it really is rather ironic. Ever since the King abdicated, there's been a boom on the stock exchange.
I know. All my shares have gone up steadily for a change.
Oh, well, you see, when there's a stable monarchy, there's a stable economy. And now we've got a stable monarchy.
And we've got a sailor on the throne, too. My Billy would have approved of that.
Just came to see how you were getting on, Nanny.
Oh, nearly ready, dear. What's the time?
Just gone 10 to 2.
Yes.
The taxi is here, but Mr. Ashley says we needn't leave until 5 past.
And where's everybody?
Vicky's out saying goodbye to her bantams, and Lady Bourne's all ready and waiting in the hall.
Mr. Ashley with it, no doubt.
Yes, how on earth did you guess?
Oh, well, you see, Lady Bourne gets train fever, and Mr. Ashley likes to stay beside her to calm her down when there's a train to catch. Pass me that thermos, dear, please, and the wee sandwich tin.
Is that for the train?
Yes, my lunch. I don't care for the dining cars.
Don't you?
No.
Oh, I love meals in the train.
Well, now that's me ready.
I'll take the case down for you, Nanny.
Oh, thank you, dear. Oh, my, you're so like Anne. Oh, you're so like her.
Am I?
Yes. She always came bouncing in here. We were going out anywhere as a family to see her old Nanny was all right. And carry things down. Well, off you run down with them, dear, and like a good lassie, tell them I'll be down quite soon.
All right, I will.
Thank you, darling.
Excuse me, milady, but the taximan thinks you ought to leave for the station right away.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Gates. There. Why do we always have to rush for trains in this house? It's too bad.
just coming.
Why can't we... Oh, there you are, Laura. Well, at least you're ready.
Nanny's just coming down, Lady Bourne.
Now, Alice, don't fuss and get yourself into a state, or you won't have any appetite for the Great Western Railway luncheon. Ah, there's the last one.
The taxi's outside.
It has been for the last 10 minutes, Vicky.
Yeah, I told you.
I'm sorry. Come along, then.
Come on, off we go, Alice. Now, you go straight out and get into the motor. Goodbye, Mrs. Gates.
It's all in the taxi. The man put it in for us.
Come along, you girls, into the cab. One in front with the driver, the other behind with me in the occasional seat.
Backside front, Laura.
Now, off you go and don't argue. Now, Irene, take care of yourself, dear, and see that Gates doesn't go out too soon with that chest of his.
All right, Nanny, I will. And you have a good time while you're in London.
And if anything crops up, you know where to get hold of us on the telephone.
Yes, I do. Miss Phyllis's flat. I've got the number. It's all right.
And maybe the commander will be back on Sunday before us.
Yes, very well, Nanny. All right. Goodbye and Happy New Year to you all.
Yes, the same to you.
Well, I'm prepared to bet you a monkey to nothing this'll hook him. Victor's a master with business prospectuses, and this is a masterpiece.
Oh, don't be too sure. He's a tough customer, our Geoffrey. Not one to throw his money away lightly, even without Penelope Finch round his neck.
Yeah, but this document makes pool aviation an irresistible proposition. Listen. Fleet of 5 de Havilland Rapides, 3 highly qualified pilots ready to sign on, a registered office in Bond Street, a working capital of £25,000, plus another £25,000 £1 ordinary shares on offer at par. Victor thinks Cartland will come in for that lot and get himself a half interest.
Victor seems to be almost as dogged an optimist as you, my darling.
Oh, he is. What's more, he's a highly successful operator in his own particular line of business.
What's that?
All sorts of things. He's floated a couple of film companies, owns a bar or two on the Côte d'Azur, and a brace of nightclubs in the West End. And he's an agent supplying arms for the Spanish Civil War.
Oh, whose side?
Both. He knows what he's doing, old Victor does.
How do you really know?
Because we're old pals. We were sacked from Harrow together. He's all right. I say, what on earth are you doing?
You know perfectly well what I'm doing. I'm getting the spare room ready for Nanny. Can't expect her to sleep on the floor at her age, poor old dear.
How long are they all staying here?
Only one night. Vicky and Laura are going to Dame Violet's, and I'm having Nanny here.
Well, I hope it is only one night. Damned expensive at Grosvenor House.
Well, you can charge it to your new firm.
That's a thought. Well, we should hear from Geoffrey tonight. If they do look in, do you think they will?
Their boat train's due in at Victoria at 6. Peter had a wire from St. Moritz. They're staying the night at the Berkeley and should be popping in here to wish us Happy New Year.
Sounds like quite a New Year's Eve party tonight.
I'm having the whole Bourne tribe, except for Liz and Arthur, of course, plus 3 Cartlands. Which reminds me, I'd like you to go back to Grosvenor House now and change and make the rum punch later when you get back.
Why can't I stay and make the punch now? It's only 6 o'clock.
Because the girls will be here any minute with Nanny. They're dropping her off from Paddington by taxi.
And you want me out of the way?
I didn't say that.
That's what you meant. Okay, sister, I can take a hint. I shouldn't be here because we're not married, and Nanny might be shocked.
That's right.
Okay, point taken. I do hope old Geoffrey's read that prospectus on the boat as he said he would, and sent a copy to his accountant or whoever his financial advisors are.
I'm sure he has. Oh, now run along, there's a good chap.
Okay. A bientôt.
There you are, on the dot.
We met Jack by the lift.
Yes, he's been helping me arrange things for this evening. Hello, Laura. Come in, Nanny. You must be absolutely exhausted.
No.
I'll show you your room and then you can lie down.
I don't want to lie down for me just off the train.
Oh, don't then. You can sit down.
Now, don't be crotchety, Nan.
Perhaps she's tired.
I think she's overexcited coming to London and going to the circus, aren't you, Nan?
Maybe I am. Now, would you like me to put on a kettle?
There, gentle hint.
Tea at 6. I was going to mix us all a cocktail.
You're in London now, Nanny.
Well, I would prefer a cup of tea if it's all the same to you.
Would you like me to make it?
Oh, would you, darling?
I'll come and help you.
Thank you.
So, this is your wee flat, is it?
Yes. How do you like it?
Oh, it's very comfy, dear.
The last time you came down to take London by storm was ages ago, Nanny. When was it?
Well, it was just before Liz went to St Mary's School. Mrs. Bourne and I came down to shop for her school clothes.
Oh, yes. I remember hearing about that. You and Mrs. Bourne lost each other in Daniel Neal's. Yes, I had my old flat then in Collingham Gardens. I hope the spare room will be all right for you, Nanny. It's very tiny. I'll show you in a
Oh,
moment.
it should be all right for me, considering that Liz and Vicky shared the bed once.
That's right, we did.
Where would you like the tea things, Phyllis?
Oh, on the table, please, darling.
Oh, hold on, I'll clear those papers up.
Thank you. The kettle's nearly boiled. I'll just go and see to it.
Well done, girls. Now, what are the plans? I mean, for the early part of the evening, what are you all doing?
Well, in a minute, Laura and I depart in a taxi for Dame Violet's in Connaught Square.
I see. Where's your luggage?
Or downstairs in the hall. The porter's keeping an eye on it.
Ah.
We leave Nanny here in your care and go and unpack and change.
And return for her at 7:15 precisely. All right, Nanny?
That's what the tin lady says on the telephone. After the third stroke, it'll be 7:15 precisely.
Hip, hip, hip. Oh, do shut up, girls. We're trying to make arrangements.
Now who's overexcited?
We are, Laura and I, because we're so young and unspoiled and full of spirits, aren't we, Laura?
Vicky, shut up.
Now behave yourselves, girls. Let your aunt say what she's got to say.
Well, we've got as far as collecting Nanny from here at 7:15.
That's right, to go by tube to Olympia for the circus. And then we go on all the sideshows at the fun fair, and then we go on a bus along Piccadilly to look at all the revellers.
The whaters?
The revellers. All the drunken crowds of people seeing in the new year.
And paddling in the fountains at Trafalgar Square.
goodness.
Well, Nanny's never seen them, have you, Nanny?
No, well, except in the Patty News and the pictures.
You're not going to paddle in the fountains, are you, Nanny?
No, I am not.
Well, you must take good care of her, you girls. Make sure you don't get crushed in the crowds. And do be back in time.
Oh, we'll be back by midnight. That was the plan, wasn't it?
Well, good. Because Grandpa and Granny are popping in about 10:30 to celebrate the New Year with us, and the Cartlins are due with Peter at about the same time.
Oh, are they back from skiing?
Yes, they're due back tonight. Peter's meeting them off the boat train.
Oh, good. That'll be a lovely party.
And Jack will be here, of course.
Oh, yes. What fun.
He will be your host, and I will be your hostess. That's settled then. Well, drink up your tea, Nanny.
Oh, yes, I will. I'm parched after that train ride.
Cup of rum punch, Lady Bourne? There.
Just a little, thank you.
Would you say?
Yes, please.
Billy.
Have a sandwich, Mother, darling. The browner smoked salmon and the whiter watercress.
Oh, I'll have a watercress, thank you.
No, thank you, Phyllis, dear.
Jack.
Thanks.
Oh, I say, this is a splendid brew. Well, when are the young ones coming? I suppose they are coming.
Oh, yes, they should be here any moment. They took Nanny to see Bertram Mill's circus, and then they were going out into the streets to see the sights.
What sights?
All the revellers, crowds out celebrating the New Year.
Oh, I was thinking it'd be a bit rough on the streets tonight.
Exactly. Nan is bound to have her bag snatched.
Why bound to, Alice?
Well, when the streets are crowded, there are always pickpockets and bag snatchers. And Nan is the perfect victim. She's too old to notice.
Oh, Alice, really. Well, I do think that's rather a pessimistic view. And this is the time of the year when we ought to look forward to celebrating the future.
Oh, exactly. The launching of pool aviation.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
I hope the children are coming. Otherwise, it's going to be most frightfully dull for you just to see the new year in with Charles and me.
I told you, Mother, they'll be here shortly. And the Cartlands are popping in too just before midnight to wish us Happy New Year. So cheer up and drink your punch.
Oh, I'm perfectly happy, thank you.
Good. I thought we'd have a quiet New Year's Eve, away from Larkfield.
A very sweet thought, Phyllis, and much appreciated.
Yes, indeed. Just the family, and the Cartlands, and Mr. Poole.
Well, Jack is almost one of the family, aren't you, darling?
Oh, is he?
Oh, that'll be the girls. Come in, the revellers.
Gosh, the streets are full of very noisy people, and most of them drunk.
The circus was lovely.
Nanny, where did you get that? I don't believe it. Nanny. Hello, Vicky, darling. Hello.
Why don't you come in and take your hat off, Nanny, and come back and have some punch? Don't be too long.
Now, we've got exactly 17 minutes to midnight. Shall I turn over to the home service?
Oh, no, wait, Jack. There's plenty of time for that.
Well, I say it would be rather a shame if the Cartlands were late.
Well, we shall have to wish each other a Happy New Year and do without them.
Do I understand that you've started this aeroplane company?
Oh, yes. Pool aviation actually exists.
On paper.
More than that, we've got assets and working capital and premises. London office and hangar space on an aerodrome. Just got to raise the other half of the share capital.
The other half?
Yes, we've got half. Hoping Cartland will come in for the other half, provided he's read his prospectus on his trip to Switzerland.
Actually, he promised an answer tonight.
We're all clean and tidy. And thirsty.
Well, have some punch. Jack will ladle it for you.
Rum, punch. I've only ever had it once before, but it makes you feel all lovely and warm inside, doesn't it? And a bit silly
well.
if you have too much.
Say, won't you make us all tight, Aunt Phyllis?
Vicky, what a thing to say.
No.
Well, I expect they're all tight at the Albert Hall by now.
Have you ever been to the Chelsea Arts Ball?
No, I haven't, but Liz went the year before last, didn't she?
Oh, yes, with that boring Oliver Horner, I seem to remember.
Now, look, everybody, I don't want to seem like Father Time, driving us all on into the future, but according to my watch, which is famous throughout Eton for its accuracy, it is now 15 minutes to 1937. So I suggest that we switch on to the home service and stand by.
All right, if we must. You turn it over, Jack. Has everyone got a glass? Oh, Vicky, give Nanny some punch, darling, will you? It'll be the Cartlands, good.
Oh.
Ah, just in time, all of you.
We couldn't get a taxi for us.
Sorry for late. We had to walk the whole way.
Rosie, come with me. Geoffrey, Peter, do help yourselves to punch.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, my dear, good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Lauren.
Peter.
Hello, Peter.
We were beginning to worry about you.
Yes, she missed Big Ben striking.
Well, how was the circus anyway?
It was marvellous. The clowns had a funny car that exploded and spouted water everywhere. It made an awful bang, and poor Nanny nearly jumped out of her seat.
There, sir. A drop of good cheer. Not the only good cheer tonight, I hope.
What?
Perhaps we'll get in a corner later on and talk business.
Oh, yes, perhaps. Do you mind if I join you, Lady Moore?
Please do.
Oh, come along.
Thank you.
I hear you've been skiing at St. Moritz.
We have indeed, yes.
Was there plenty of snow?
Enough.
Well, if you're all right, I'd better go back and organise things in there. It's very nearly midnight, so don't be too long.
Phyllis, could you just stay for a second? I have something rather important to tell you, and I may not get a chance later on.
Well, yes, of course. What is it?
Not very long ago in this flat, you gave me some very good advice about Miss Penelope Finch. You told me quite bluntly that she was a tart and Geoffrey wouldn't last the course.
What happened?
Much as you'd expect. She drank rather too much champagne one night and sneaked off to the casino with a young Italian prince and failed to report for breakfast. Big row, disillusionment, and then the news of the King's departure came and, well, I expect the family told you the rest.
Oh, yes. Back came Geoffrey, repentant. You forgave him because you love him. And off you went for a second honeymoon to Saint-Maurice.
End of story. So far. But that's not really what I want to talk to you about. Phyllis, please don't be offended, but I feel in a sort of way that I have to return the favour for your own sake. You're not going to like it very much.
Well, you'd better tell me. Whatever it is.
Phyllis, how well do you know Jack Poole?
What's the time?
It's 8 minutes to.
They've been in there an awful long time.
We're having a chin wag, I suppose. If I go and hurry them off?
Well, I think you'd better, Vicky.
I hate to bring you news like this, especially tonight of all nights.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Nanny's getting a bit anxious and...
We'll be there in a minute, darling.
Okay.
It's a fine start to the new year, what?
Oh, Phyllis, I really am sorry. But someone had to tell you.
Oh, yes. We'd better go and join the festivities.
Rosie?
Oh, here we are.
There
My
you
dear.
go, Rosie. Round the back. What about you, Phyllis? How's your glass? Shall I recharge it for you?
No, I won't have something.
You've got exactly 3 minutes to make the announcements. I'll call for silence.
Oh, what announcements?
Ladies and gentlemen, before midnight strikes, Phyllis wishes to announce 2 pieces of good news.
I would like to announce that my dear niece Elizabeth, who is alas away in Wales, is going to marry our neighbour Peter Cartland. The official announcement will be in the Times sometime in the spring.
What a pity she isn't here.
Well, that's really splendid news. Now, raise your glasses, everybody, and a toast to Elizabeth and Peter.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Now, come on. Come on, Phyllis. Out with your next announcement.
Haven't you forgotten something, Phil?
I don't think so, Joe.
Oh, come on, Phyllis.
Come
we can
on.
all guess. Don't
Out
be
with
shy.
it.
Aren't you going to tell them about us?
Not tonight, Jack, I don't think.
Huh?
Please.
Good night. Happy
There
New
you are.
Year.
Right on time.
Happy New Year, Nanny.
My dear, my Happy New Year. Well done.
Happy New Year, darling.
Happy New Year, lad. Rosie, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Acquaintance be forgot and is never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot for the sake of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for the sake of old lang syne.
A swindle? How dare you say that?
I dare say it, because that's what this accountant called it. Mr. Whitney, Geoffrey's accountant, and he should know. He says the prospectus deliberately falsifies the true position of the company, claims it has assets it has not, and cash it has not yet raised, and that the whole thing looks like a gigantic confidence trick. In other words, swindle.
Will you not use that word?
Geoffrey Cartland won't touch you with a barge pole now, so you'd better go out and try and get some more financial backing, hadn't you? Someone else to cheat.
Shut up!
Don't shout. Nanny's in there.
You're not being very much help, are you?
I'm very angry, Jack. I've done everything I can to help you. I introduced you to Geoffrey. And then to be made to look an absolute fool by Rosie, of all people, and in my own flat at a moment when we're supposed to be announcing our engagement to the entire family. Well, how do you think I feel?
All right. All right, let's keep cool, shall we? Okay, so we jump the gun. I'll have to raise the money somewhere else.
You won't get tuppence halfpenny for it now, not on a false prospectus like that. No one will trust you.
This is a damn good proposition. That's all I know.
Where are you going?
Out. To the city or somewhere. No, I'll go round to Grosvenor House, ring up a few pals. I don't know. I'll do something. Get hold of Victor if I can find him.
I thought you were going to help me clear up the mess.
Which particular mess do you refer to?
Both. Mrs. Bundy isn't coming in this morning. I thought you could give me a hand. At least wash a few glasses.
No, I think it's better if we go our own separate ways today, don't you? I suggest you stay here and clear up your flat. I'll go out and try and sort out the other mess. Try and stop the fraud squad closing in on me.
Yes. And don't come back until you have an honest and valid proposition. I have no wish to marry a convict.
Don't worry. Nobody's asking you to.
Oh, dear. What's the matter now? Come on. Tell Nanny.
Oh, can't you guess?
Well, I did overhear your Master Jack Poole. Couldn't very well help it. I can't say I gathered what the row was all about, but I suspect you've had a fair wee bit of a tiff.
Oh, it's much more than that, Nanny. It's much more serious. I don't know whether he's an out-and-out crook or just a stupid fool. I don't know if I can trust him or not. I thought I knew everything about him. Well, now I'm not sure. I don't know.
But I thought you were supposed to be real taken with him. In fact, the girls were saying you were thinking of getting married.
We were. We are. I do love him. Damn him. He's charming and fun, and we laugh together, and he's been very kind, but I don't really know if he's honest or not, and I couldn't tie myself for the rest of my life to someone who I can't trust. Oh, God, I don't know what to do.
Now, you just listen. You let Nanny tell you what to do. Now, first of all, you'll blow your nose, and then you'll dry your eyes, and then you'll go and make your face up. And I'll make a start in cleaning up this room, and everything will turn out all right, I can assure you.
Oh, Nanny, you're a comfort.
On you go now, do as I say.
Oh. What time are the girls coming for you?
Oh, any minute now. Our train leaves Paddington at 10:48.
I gather you're taking Mother up with you for a few days.
Aye, that's right. Oh, she was telling me only yesterday how she looked forward to her visits to Larkfield.
London's getting a bit lonely for her. She's all by herself in that wretched flat with Kate getting older and deafer every year.
She ought to be somewhere where she's properly looked after, in my opinion.
Well, I know what I think. If Arthur doesn't marry again, well, even if he does, she ought to be at Larkfield now for the rest of her days. There's plenty of room up there. It's really a question of whether she wants to live there or else hang on to her independence.
As you've been hanging on to your independence so far, eh?
Yes. Oh, there's a lot to be said for being single. Not to have to go out if I don't want to. Not to have to fit in with other people's plans. I like to be able to wash my hair and tumble into bed with a good book if I want. Or to go out with different men once in a while. If not...
You'll need to get a husband sooner or later, my lassie, as you grow older. Somebody to look after you if you're ill. A companion to lean on and grow old with, eh?
Nanny, really? Oh, not so long ago you said I was a bad chooser of men. You remember? I was in my bar.
I do. And I was right by all accounts.
Oh, that'll be the girls.
That's right.
Hello. Are you ready, Nanny? Granny's waiting downstairs in the taxi.
I'm all ready, dear.
Hello. It was a lovely New Year's Eve. We did enjoy it. Thanks very much for asking me.
All that lovely punch.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
We mustn't stay or we'll miss the train. And Granny'll have a fit.
I'll take that case for
Oh,
you.
will you, dear? Thank you.
Well, off you all go then. Now have a safe journey.
We will.
Bye-bye, Aunt Phyllis.
Bye, darling.
Happy New Year.
And to you.
And thank you very much, dear, for a very nice visit. Most comfortable.
Well, it's lovely to have you, Nanny.
And don't you worry. Things will all turn out all right. I'm sure they will. Goodbye, darling.
Bye-bye, Nanny. Take care. Oh, International Sportsman's Club. The desk, please. Oh, hello. I'm trying to get in touch with Mr. Jack Poole, who's He's what? When? He telephoned to say he was on his way back to Le Touquet. I see. And he left no other message? Thank you. Goodbye. This feels like Euston Station. Oh, Charles, come in, do.
Phyllis, dear. Hello. May I say I'm sorry to intrude like this, but I did want to see you.
Oh, come along in. I'm afraid it's a bit of a shambles. I've just seen Nanny and the girls off to Paddington.
With Alice, I hope. Don't tell me they left their granny behind.
No, they've got their granny.
Oh, good. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to Paddington, too. Get my train to Datchet in half an hour or so, but if you could spare me a moment, my dear.
Well, of course, Charles. What is it?
I'm a bit worried about you. It was perfectly obvious to me there was a situation last night. The Cartlands brought you some bad news, didn't they? About your friend and his aeroplane company?
It's a long story, Charles, but to put it in a nutshell, Jack has been circulating a prospectus for Poole Aviation, which is, shall we say, misleading. The aeroplanes that he's put down as existing assets haven't even been ordered from de Havilland's, only inquired about. The registered office for the company is apparently a cellar of a nightclub in Bond Street owned by a friend of his called Victor Sharp, who was guaranteed half the capital on some sort of signature. But Geoffrey's accountant heard from his bankers that they couldn't say he was good for the amount. So, there's no cash in the bank, and the hangar premises for the aeroplanes turns out to be some sort of shack on the edge of Berck Aerodrome outside Le Touquet.
Oh, dearie me. In other words, there's no money and no aeroplanes, yet.
That's right. Jack's trying to raise the money on false pretenses.
Yes. Still, if Geoffrey Cartland decides to take up the 50% share capital, then you could buy the aeroplanes straight
No, you see,
away.
it's not quite as simple as that, Charles. Geoffrey asked his accountant, a Mr. Whitney, to find someone else to come in with him, to take 25% of his 50 and spread the risk.
I see. Hedging his bet.
Yes, exactly. Well, Mr. Whitney, taking the prospectus on trust, passed it on to a man called Gaynham, a very wealthy machinery manufacturer in Birmingham. Someone Geoffrey doesn't know, but they share the same accountant. Well, this Mr. Gaynham read the prospectus, checked the details, found they didn't truthfully represent the company's position, and sent it with his report to Scotland Yard, the fraud department.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Jack and I had the most ghastly row about it all this morning, and he's gone back to Le Touquet, presumably to escape arrest. Oh, Charles, what am I to do?
My dear, I don't think there's anything you can do at the moment. You must just sit tight and wait for him to get in touch with you.
There's a hat for you. Oh, yes. Now, put it on sort of slouched. I say, your trousers terribly tight.
Oh, yes.
I don't mind it too loose. I had to tie them up with an old tie. But hey, let me finish putting on that moustache. There.
We must have guns.
Oh, yeah. Get yourself a gat, palsy. Oh, what though?
Oh, this'll do for me. What do you have for a Tommy gun?
Oh, this old tennis racket will do. There, stick 'em up.
Reach for the sky, sister.
30 grand will fill you full of lead.
Oh, good gracious me, what are you supposed to be, you wretched girls?
Okay, you guys, hand over the dough, you dirty rats.
Oh,
come on.
those two girls dressed as Al Capone. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have declared cold diamonds.
I'm sure Al Capone's men would have worn suits that fitted them. I've got 160 points, Lady Bourne.
Are you sure you've added up right?
Quite sure.
Come on, Laura. Let's go back and change. That went down real big, I must say.
Gosh, what a flop. I think you both look very fierce. You frighten me, anyway.
Well, I must leave, if you excuse me.
Oh, dear, where are you off to?
Well, I thought I might go into Horbury and see a film. See some real gangsters and real coppers. Fred McMurray and George Raft.
All by yourself?
Yes, I don't mind.
I'll stay and talk to you for a while, if you like. I'm in no hurry.
Oh, do. I should love that. I'll ring the bell. Mrs. Gates will bring us some tea.
Well, bye-bye, Lady Bourne. And
Goodbye,
thank you very
Peter.
much for the bridge. Goodbye, Rosie.
Goodbye, darling. Enjoy the film.
I will.
There. Best place to be on a rainy afternoon in the cinema.
I think he's quite lost without Liz.
Evidently. I do hope you won't mind my mentioning it. But now that we're alone, I do want to say that I'm so glad you and Mr. Cartland have made up your personal differences.
Thank you, yes.
As a family, we feel so bound up with your lives, especially since you were both so infinitely kind to us in our sorrow recently. I just wanted to say that.
That's a very kind thing to say, Lady Bourne. Thank you very much.
As your stepson and my granddaughter are going to be married, I should like you to call me Alice, if you can bring yourself to say my awful name, which I've always detested.
Well, I'm very honoured. Thank you again. Shall I answer that?
No, Mrs. Gates will answer it, thank you. Tell me, is Peter going on living in London after he's married?
Oh, no, not if he can help it. I think the idea is for Liz to give up her medical work and for them both to live in the mill house at Layford, which Geoffrey will probably do up for them. But, of course, Peter's got to persuade his father to take him on in the motor works. Oh, Peter's willing enough, although he prefers aeroplanes to motor cars. Still, Geoffrey has to find him a place.
It would be an ideal arrangement, wouldn't it, if they could both live up here and be near Arthur?
Oh, absolutely.
Excuse me, my lady. It's Miss Phyllis on the telephone from London wanting to speak to someone.
Oh, well, there's only the children and Nanny at home. I'd better speak to her.
Very good, my lady. Oh, and did you ring for me?
Yes, Mrs. Gates, we'd love a little tea and just a few biscuits.
Very good, my lady.
Do excuse me. Oh, I hope Phyllis is all right.
She may be a little upset about Mr. Jack Poole.
Oh. Hello? Yes, dear. No, not alone. Rosie Cartland's with me and we're just about to have some tea together. You what? Well, of course. Well, that'd be very nice. When? Yes, I'll tell Mrs. Gates to get your room ready. Will you motor up? All right, dear. See you then. Goodbye. You were right. She is depressed. Thoroughly down in the mouth, she said. Wants to come up here for a few days.
Oh, well, that's good. We'll have to try and cheer her up.
Yes, we must.
What a shame Geoffrey could have given her a lift down from London. Still, he would have left by now. So I mustn't stay too long. He likes me to be there when he gets home.
That's what wives are for, aren't they?
Well, I only decided to come up yesterday afternoon.
Oh, have you had breakfast?
Yes, I have.
Well, Nanny thought you'd be bound to sleep in after your long journey.
No, I've been up for quite a while.
Well, Daddy's still away, if you were
Yes,
looking
I
for
know
him.
he is. I've been speaking to Mr. Cartland on the telephone.
Oh, I see.
He's coming over to see me this morning on some rather important business. So if you and Laura could amuse yourselves.
Well, actually, we're going out riding.
Well, that's good.
And Granny won't be up for ages, so you'll be quite undisturbed.
Yes. Come here.
What?
I can give you my word, Phyllis, the police aren't going to be involved. I promise you.
What about the other man, the one you offered half the investment?
Bob Gaynham was really no problem. I simply offered him an option, that's all. When the prospectus arrived and frightened him out, I simply managed to withdraw the offer. And also to persuade him, very politely, not to pursue the matter with Scotland Yard. You agreed?
So now you're landed with a block of worthless shares. No cash, no aeroplanes, no company, no premises, and a prospectus that isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Well, that's not exactly true.
Isn't it?
Well, actually, you're right about the prospectus. If that fell into the hands of the police, I'm quite sure that Mr. Jack Poole and Mr. Victor Sharp would probably spend a lot of years behind bars. You know, a quick examination of Mr. Victor Sharp's business practices convinced me that perhaps Jack Poole was going to be cheated by his friend. Mr. Jack Poole, he may behave like a fool sometimes, but I'm convinced he's no rogue. So I took it upon myself to tear up the documents, all three of them.
And that's the end of that.
Well, no, it isn't. You see, my firm had already made a cash deposit to de Havilland's on 3 DH Rapide aircraft. Taken an option on 3 more. We had also transferred £25,000 worth of capital from Cartland Motors to Poole Aviation. You see, Jack had taken out the precaution of forming a company.
25,000.
Also underwritten £25,000 worth of equity deputy shares. You'd imagine Jack's quite happy about that.
Jack is? How do you know?
I talked to him on the telephone last night.
You what?
I tracked him down to Le Touquet. He was in the casino. We talked between shoes of baccarat.
You spoke to him last night?
We had quite a long chat.
That's more than I've had.
It's not surprising, is it, after the row you had? Actually, he's quite keen to make it up, you know. Now that his company has been established, and he's got a very good job.
What job is that, may I ask?
Joint managing director of the firm. He's going to be running the London office. Salary of £4,000 with increments. That was all agreed. On the telephone, of course.
I see.
My son, Peter, will work from the headquarters at Wolverhampton and supervise operations at hangars in around Birmingham.
I see.
Well, Rosie tells me that Peter and Liz want to live in that part of the world, so I'm going to give them the mill house at Layford. Peter will have a job he'll enjoy doing. He likes airplanes and I don't. Anything else you want to know?
Well, no. My God, what else is there? You seem to have saved Jack from breaking stones on Dartmoor and bought yourself an aeroplane company all in the space of 24 hours.
Well, I like to work swiftly. Otherwise, the other man beats you at the post, you see. It's my father's creed. I don't waste time.
I'll say you don't. There is something. It's ungrateful and churlish, but I must ask.
Go ahead, Phyllis. What do you want to know?
I know that Jack hoped that if he got this company started, he would have control of it so that any fortune to be made out of the aeroplanes would be ours. I mean his. Of course, as he's a salaried employee...
He'll have to save his salary, won't he? Acquire shares from us, one by one, or rather from Peter. Who knows, one day he might even gain control. Don't you think he ought to be grateful, Phyllis? We've established his company, firm finances. He's got a very good job running our London office, without investing a single penny of his own. Don't you think so?
Yes, I do. You're quite right, and I shall tell him so.
When?
I don't know. I expect I shall see him sometime. I'm not going to go crawling after him after the way he's behaved. I refuse to ring him to Touquet. I shall just sit it out and wait and see if he rings me.
He's not going to. He's travelling back to London by ship tomorrow. He's going to be in your flat in London, 4 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, for tea.
Is he?
Because those are the orders I've given him. He's promised to carry them out. And I happen to think that when Jack Poole makes a promise, he's likely to stand by it. You see, in spite of his bragging and tomfoolery and some of his abominable friends, I happen to think that Jack Poole is fundamentally a decent and reliable chap. I wouldn't employ him if he wasn't. Oh, I must be off. Rosie's committed me to opening the new wing of the cottage hospital in the village, and I have to make a speech. I'd better brush up on it.
What a bore. Can't you get out of it?
No, unfortunately, I built the blasted place, and the mayor expects me to there. So for now, Phyllis, goodbye and the best of luck. I let myself out.
Oh, it's you. Come in.
The bad penny turns up again. Do I get a kiss?
I'm not sure you deserve one.
I've just got off the Golden Arrow, so may I have a snifter?
Whiskey?
Please. I say, I've got all sorts of rather splendid and quite extraordinary news for you.
Really?
Yes. Not too much splash, old thing. I'm whacked. Yes, you wait till you hear what I've got to tell you, by God.
I can't wait. So tell me. There.
Well, first of all, you'll never guess who telephoned me in Le Touquet the night before last.
Geoffrey Cartland.
Yes. How on earth did you know?
He told me.
When?
Up at Larkfield. He came over from Layford to see me. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your new job.
Oh, darn it. He's gone and told you everything. What a damn nuisance. I wanted to surprise you.
It doesn't matter. I'm very pleased for you. Shall we drink to Geoffrey Cartland and Poole Aviation Limited?
I say, this is rather where we came in, isn't it, old thing?
Yes, old chap. It is. Oh, blast you.
I'm reluctant to say yes, Kate. You sure? It's a sizable branch. Badly split, Commander. It'll come down in its own time, and that could be dangerous. Well, if a branch that size fell on the house, he could do a lot of damage.
Oh, dearie me, that sounds bad.
Oh, sorry, Charles, didn't see you. There's a big main branch of the cedar tree split right down the middle.
Ooh.
Gates thinks it ought to come off. I'm afraid it might spoil the symmetry of the tree. So, safety first, I suppose.
I should have thought so, yes.
All right, Gates. Off with his head.
Right, sir.
At least it'll give us some damn good fence posts.
And a few logs, sir. Good burning wood, Cedar.
Yes, and we're going to need it. This is the coldest march for years. Arthur, could you...
It's very pleasant, too, the smell of cedar wood burning in a grate. I wonder how old that tree is. You must count the rings or something when you take that branch up.
Yes, sir. Oh, as a matter of fact, sir, I'll get Jim on that job if that's all right by you. He hasn't got much to do in the garden at the moment.
Well, fine, if you think he can manage.
Yeah, I'll get him up there right away, sir.
Yes, while it's dry.
Yes, I didn't like the look of the weather this morning, sir, but seems to be cleared up a bit.
No, I'd get him onto it pretty sharpish if I were you. Glass is going down.
Very good, Commander.
Well, what time's your luncheon in Hereford?
There's one for 1:15, but I must go almost at once because it's a fair way.
Well, it's such a pity Liz couldn't go with you after all.
Yeah. Yes, there was a chance of a couple of days off, but a series of hospital lectures brought forward from next week. I think the surgeon concerned wants to get away and fish.
Oh, shocking. Well, in my opinion, your eldest daughter could be a considerable asset to you on the platform. She's not only very attractive, but she's intelligent enough to stand up to questioning from the press.
Last time I discussed my political future with her, she said, "I'll vote for you all right, Daddy, but with my tongue slightly in my cheek."
Oh, because of Baldwin?
No, she thought the old boy handled the application with tact and statesmanship. Then I asked her if it might be anything to do with this Welsh professor. A chap who came down and bellyached about disarmament. She said, no, it wasn't Gwilym. It was working in a big London hospital. All that suffering and poverty she sees every day.
Well, I hope you pointed out to her that the Socialists aren't the only party who are sorry for the poor.
Oh, Charles, I did. I said to her, Mrs. Hedges and the like. They work their fingers to the bone, organising fêtes and bazaars, collecting money to send the poor children of Horbury on outings to the sea. True blue Tories to the gills.
And what did she say to that?
Nothing. Oh, except the old argument. They got nothing better to do.
Well, there is a certain truth in that.
I know. Don't you tell her so. No. Just because I'm her father, she mustn't support me against her political convictions. No. Actually, it might be worth it. If people could say, he's a good chap, Bourne. Allows his children to think for themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, I don't think you need worry in either case. As far as I can make out, the Holbury-Westcombe division is about the safest seat in the country. If you accept the candidature, you accept the seat. You know, Arthur, it's going to be rather fun having an MP in the family. I shall write letters to the Times as the father-in-law of the member for Holbury and get them published for a change.
I would like to think I'd have that much influence over Geoffrey Dawson and his men, but I very much doubt it. Well, if I'm going, I suppose I'd better be on my way. Yeah. Must make a good impression on the agents, right? Apparently agents run these things from start to finish. Oh. So, if I am to stand a chance...
Well, I should pull a little senior service on him. I hear he's only a captain in the territorials.
All right. Well, I'll be back around tea time, all being well. Cheerio.
Bye-bye, Arthur.
I should never have got into this state. I thought I told you to clean this with the other tools and oil it.
Oh, I did.
Well, look at it. Red rusty. Well, that'll have to do.
Yeah, right. It would be worth having a go at sharpening the saw before I cut down the branch, would it? It'd be a long job.
The commander wants that job done today, so today it is. Come on, let's get you up there and started.
Well, I mean, I could have a go at sharpening myself, like.
It'd take too long. You got to sharpen it tooth by tooth.
Well, it'll make the job easier.
Look, I want that job done now. Now, understand? Are you afraid of a bit of hard work?
Well, you're the one who's always saying you've got to have the right tools for the job.
Yes, and I might add the right man for the job.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Don't be such a dreamer, Jim. You waste a lot of time when you should be working, looking for things to do. I shouldn't need to do all your thinking for you.
Right then. I'll get on with it.
Right.
It must be very cold up there.
Jim's tough enough. He'll be all right.
The saw keeps sticking. He's getting quite angry with it.
I do believe he's swearing. Yes, he is swearing. He's trying to pull the saw out. Oh, dear, he's dropped it. He's swearing again.
I wish I could hear what he was saying. I should think Jim's quite good at swearing.
What's he like?
Oh, he's all right. Liz knows him better than I do. He was one of her causes for a while. He's been in trouble once or twice.
What kind of trouble?
Oh, silly things. Nothing much at all. I say, do you want to go out for a walk?
Only a short one. It's a miserable day.
Oh, no, well, we'll stay in. Oh, I don't like this time of year. Lent. I suppose Lent is meant to be dull. Oh, what a waste of a day. He's climbing back up again. That's what we need. Something to do.
He's seen us watching him. Come away from the window. He'll be embarrassed.
Oh, not Jim. He thinks I'm part of the furniture. Oh, come on, let's go and chat to Nan. She's got a rotten cold. She needs cheering up.
You must be frozen, Jim. Why can't it wait?
Oh, just the off chance it might fall on someone when they're standing underneath it or, fall against the ice like. You wouldn't believe it when you're actually trying to saw it down. You're not quite way through it yet. Feel as though it could stay up there for another 100 years.
Well, it's raining now. You can't carry on in the rain, can you?
Oh, I don't mind a bit of rain. I'm sheltered up there. Yeah, well, it's time I got back to it. Thanks for the tea.
All right.
Huh? How's it going?
Slow. That's saw.
Yeah, well, you've only got yourself to blame for that.
Well, it needs sharpening. You never told me to sharpen it.
Get more elbow behind it. Position yourself better so that you can get your weight behind the saw. You're sitting on the wrong side.
Oh, so you're watching me, are you? Being to feel like a monkey up a stick.
Well, the cat fits. Only a joke, Jim. Well, I'll come up and do a spell myself when I've done the boiler.
Yeah, all right.
His hands were blue when he came in, poor lad. Now you're asking him to get soaked. It's a bargain.
Won't do him any harm. You do more good up there than messing about in the garage or taking joyrides on my motorbike.
Oh, you do bear grudges, don't you? Give the lad a chance.
Gets as many chances as I ever had. And if I catch him reading in the potting shed again, I'm going straight to the commander. I can work out in the rain, so can he.
Isn't it dry in the boiler house these days, then? Just about time you started treating him with more consideration.
All right. Let me have my tea in peace.
Hello, Nanny. How are you feeling?
Oh, no, don't come too close. I don't want you girls catching my cold. Oh, it's a terrible one. It's the worst I've had for a long time.
It must be miserable. Have you taken anything for it?
Everything, dear, everything. It makes not a scrap of difference. Inhalers, aspirins, hot drinks, or talk about something else. Cheer me up. I must look an awful sight.
Not at all. I look far worse when I've got a cold. The end of my nose goes bright red for weeks.
Jim Tapper's still sawing that old branch off the cedar tree.
I don't like to think of that tree being damaged. Your mother was very fond of that tree.
In the central and southeastern districts, drizzle and light winds will give way to heavy rain and poor visibility, with winds gale force 6 in coastal areas, moving inland during the night. There is nothing as depressing as a weather forecast, and it is invariably wrong.
Not this time. I think we're in for some very rough weather.
Huh? Well, what's your secret, Alice? Seaweed?
There was a mackerel sky this morning. I noticed it from my bedroom window.
Indeed. Well, I hope we haven't any loose tiles. If we have, they're sure to be off tonight.
Well, I don't know. You may be right, but I wouldn't like to bet. It's quite calm out there now, except the rain. Especially now Jim Tapper stopped making that dreadful noise. Oh, I wonder what persuades Arthur to keep him here. Not a suitable person to have around the house, not to my thinking, with his record. I've told him so often enough.
Arthur is trying to help the boy, Alice, as you very well know.
As far as I can gather, the boy's quite capable of helping himself.
Well, people change. Even boys. I should know.
Not some boys. I don't trust that light-fingered attitude towards life. What's yours is mine, what's mine's my own. It's based on the idea that the world owes you a living. And that's a patent fiction.
Well, I know, but you must give the boy a chance. You know, you've been critical of him ever since he first came here.
Well, I'm thankful he's taking a rest at the moment. A little peace and quiet. I find great difficulty in sleeping. Even the fire doesn't seem to want to burn. The wind has changed.
Well, you had to go and break it for that sheer clumsiness.
Well, the sticking and the branch moved. I'm sorry.
Take it out of your wages. The saw was only a year old. Best steel.
I said I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, sorry's not enough. How far through did you get?
About a third.
I suppose we'll have to tie it up with a bit of rope until tomorrow. I'll see if I can get a new saw. This is a real nuisance, Jim.
Well, we can't find anything else to do. Nanny just ruined us at pontoon. And all the books I'm reading are rather sad, so we might as well go for a walk in the rain.
Well, I shan't come with you. Don't go too far. Luncheon is at 1.
Right.
Are you going anywhere near the village shop?
Oh, we can go that way.
Then I shall come with you. I need some stamps. If you'll be all right, Alice, dear. Good.
Sure you won't come, Granny?
Quite sure, darling. I don't like the damp.
Now then, girls.
There we are.
Help me on with my coat.
I will.
Now, if we step out, we shall be able to keep warm. And no lagging behind. You must keep up with me. And I shall set a brisk pace.
Oh, don't worry, Granny. We won't be late for lunch, promise. Will you tell Mrs. Gates, though?
Yes, I'll tell her. Enjoy your walk. I think you're all three raving mad. But go on.
Bye.
Come on, Miss Enfant. En avant.
Oh, hello, Nanny.
Oh, Betty Bourne.
Are you feeling better?
Oh, not so bad, thank you. Not so bad.
The girls tell me you've destroyed them at cards. I must remember never to play bridge with you.
Well, with the children, when it comes to a time for you to win, you win. I was needing cheering up. I don't know what they're doing with that cedar tree. Ropes all over the place. I think they're arranging to hang somebody. Oh, it's such a lovely old tree. I hope they're not going to spoil it.
Oh.
And how are you keeping now, Lady Bourne?
Oh, very well, thank you, Nanny.
Good. I was just on my way to ask Mrs. Gates for something special for my lunch. I fancied a bit of black pudding. She won't have that, so...
Oh, you should have told the girls to bring you some from the village shop. They've gone for a walk with Mr. Ashley.
That wee village shop never had anything as tasty as black pudding. Tins of beans and corned beef, yes, but black puddings, no.
Well, that's one advantage of living in London. You only have to walk down Victoria Street to the Army and Navy stores for anything.
I wouldn't care to live in London myself. I found it very changed.
Oh, it is. It's very crowded and dreadfully noisy now. You know, Phyllis thinks I ought to come and live up at Larkfield.
Yeah, she told me.
What do you think I should do?
Well, I think you should, Lady Bourne.
Well, of course, I always look forward to coming up here. But I wouldn't want to be in the way. And I do value my independence.
Well, you see, it's a matter of being practical, Lady Bourne. With none of us getting any younger.
Yes. I suppose I shouldn't be living alone, not now. Perhaps it's rather silly, with Kate getting deaf and wanting to go back to her sister in Newcastle.
I'm sure the commander would be glad if you did come here to live. He must worry about you.
Perhaps he does sometimes.
Maybe Phyllis could speak to him about the idea. That might be the best way to approach it.
Of course, I'd contribute to the household funds. Naturally, I'd do whatever I could.
Of course. Well, I'm sure it's the only sensible thing. You should not be in that flat in London alone. Not in these times.
Thank you, Nanny. You've been most helpful.
Oh, fancy them out in that. Oh, they'll be soaked. What a day to go and have a walk in. Oh, I better go and make sure there's plenty of hot water for baths for them when they do get back. Excuse me.
Sure. Oh, I'm soaked. I'm off home to get changed.
Do you think that branch will hold?
Yeah, it'll have to. We used all the rope we got.
I was just thinking, if the wind comes round from the north, it could take it round the other way, swing it round.
There's not much wind about. It'll hold until the morning. Right, you better cut off home and get yourself dried out. There's not much we can do in the garden anyway. Go on, take the afternoon off.
Well, it's always a seed potatoes.
Look, I am not getting the blame for you catching a cold. I got enough explaining to do to the commander with that broken saw and all. Right, go on, do as you're told and get home to your mother. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, God. Oh, what a really frightful day.
Oh, it's absolutely awful. I'm saturated.
Absolutely awful.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Mackerel sky.
Oh, dear.
Don't you think you'd all better go up and change?
Look at you. Oh, I'm taking chances. Now, get off the rest of these wet things upstairs and get into a bath with you.
Yes,
There'll be more than me coughing and sneezing tonight.
It was good fun for a while. We all shared the umbrella. Come on, Laura.
Well, I've given myself a little brandy, warm myself up. Temperature's dropping, I think we're in for some really foul weather.
I'm so worried about Arthur out in it motoring.
I know. Oh, Jim Tapper passed us on his bicycle. I didn't envy him his form of transport in these conditions.
No. They seem to have finished with the tree for today.
Ah.
Well, I think anybody's better indoors.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I ought to go and change. Oh, dear. Gale warning, south cones hoisted.
Oh, well, I'll tell Mrs. Gates to hold lunch back so that you'll all have time to change.
Thank you, Alice.
Ooh. Well, I hope she's got something nice and warming for us to eat.
Cedar tree looks like a ship now. All those ropes going everywhere. Or like someone in hospital with a broken leg. Poor old tree.
Well, Grandpa's still pretty fit for his age, isn't he? Well, he can walk quite quickly. Well, he was leaving us behind when we turned back. He was almost running.
It's getting very dark. Reminds me of Macbeth.
Or King Lear. Listen, that's the wind in the roof. When the wind's in a certain direction, it always makes that sound. It used to terrify me when I was a child.
Sounds like a lost soul.
It's in the north. When the wind is in the north, I remember Daddy telling me.
I'm glad I'm not here by myself. It'd be very spooky. Gosh, it's getting blacker and blacker. Look at that sky. Those clouds are very low. I can't see farther than the end of the garden.
Daddy's gone to Hereford to see about becoming an MP. Perhaps this is an omen. He shouldn't have gone. What does darkness like this mean?
The end of the world or something.
At least.
People used to believe that. They organise their lives around all sorts of weird superstitions. I'm not surprised. If I lived in a cave and I wasn't very bright, I'd react very badly to a day like this. It'd give me quite a turn.
You're potty.
More people commit suicide now than any other month of the year. But it can be quite exciting. We're going to have a real storm.
We'll lose a lot of slates off the roof. Well, they're huge. If one fell on your head, it would kill you. We find them in the flower beds and on the lawns.
Now wait. 4 miles. I counted 4 seconds between the lightning and the thunder. Isn't it terrifying?
Poor Daddy, driving in all this. I hope he's all right.
Do you remember that hymn for sailors? We sang it at school. How does it go? Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea. Now wait. 1, 2, 3. It's getting closer. When it gets right overhead, it'll be devastating. I'll be a jelly.
Oh, there you are, Arthur. We've been quite worried about you.
Oh, we were indeed.
Well, I had to turn back. The road's flooded the other side of Horbury. Absolute chaos. Oh, that's better. Well, I'll try and get on to the Conservative agent. I think I'd better ring the farm, see if it's all right. The cattle get very agitated in this weather. Hope they're all inside.
I never realised that. Of course the animals must get very frightened.
Darling, I haven't been.
Oh.
Floods.
Where?
The other side of Horbury. Would you tell Mrs. Gates I'll be in for lunch?
I'm sure there'll be plenty.
It's a damn nuisance, isn't it? All those people waiting to meet the new candidate.
Oh, I can't be helped, Arthur. I don't suppose they'd all turn out. Most of them would have turned back, I expect, or didn't even attempt it, I think, wouldn't you?
God help me, please. Mrs. Gates is in a terrible state. She's scared out of her wits. I think it's the thunder. Everything's boiling over in the kitchen. Shall I come?
No, you stay there with Lady Bourne, it's all right.
No, it's ignorance. She'll be all right as soon as it passes over.
I was at school with a girl like that. She was terrified of thunder. She'd hide under the bed, trembling with fear.
I can't get through, because the lines must be down or something, so I had to go down by car. Now, will you tell Mrs. Gates to start lunch without me? I'll be back as soon as I can.
Now, listen, it's only a thunderstorm. Mrs. Gates, listen, there's nothing to be frightened of now. Come on.
Is the commander here?
He's back, but he's gone out.
Well, I must see him.
He's gone down to the farm. What's the matter?
Well, it's that branch of the cedar tree. It's just hanging by a thread. I'm afraid it'll fall on the house. It's going to break off and fall.
I'm going up to look. You can see it from Vicky's bedroom window.
Laura, no, don't you go up there. Don't.
Celia? It's going to fall.
Where's the commander?
You're right, Nanny. The branch is swinging about all over the place and it's very close to the house.
Oh, we can't just stand up out here doing nothing. We must do something. The commander must be told. Oh, my goodness, she's still unnerved.
No, she's not quite recovered yet. She's very nervous of thunderstorms, aren't you, Mrs. Gates? I think she'd better stay here with us for a while. Now, Mrs. Gates, you sit down there. You'll be all right. And just wait here with us until the storm's over.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right in a minute, sir.
Yes. Now, Miss Ashley, you'll need to tell the commander what's happened because that branch is falling. It's an emergency.
Well, I'll try the telephone again. I think I'll use the one in the study. It's a bit quiet.
Oh, Nanny, we'll all be
No, dear, it's all
mercy
right.
on us, Nanny.
No, it's only a bit of thunder. There's no danger. You mustn't stress yourself like this.
tree from the window.
Yes, come on.
Hello? 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 No good. It's dead. No, Nanny's quite right. Ought to be something that we could do.
But what? I don't think even Daddy can do anything with that branch is moving about too much.
Well, I think I might be able to do something. You see, it is very dangerous like that.
I always thought cedar trees were such strong things.
Yes, they are, my dear, but in this wind... I tell you, I think I'd better take a closer look. I might be able to do just something.
No, Grandpa, it's too dangerous. You stay here and keep an eye out. We'll go and find Gates and see what he can do.
Very well.
We're going to go out and find Gates and see what he can do.
It's given way. The whole branch has come away from the trunk. It's only supported by those ropes. It's like a sort of battering ram. Where is Gates?
He's not here, sir.
Well, where is he then?
He's gone into Holbury to get his motorbike mended. A friend of his gave him a lift with it on his lorry.
But did he say he was going?
No, miss.
But you mean he just went?
Well, it's the only chance he's had, my lady.
But what a time to choose.
Come on, Laurie, we're going to go find Daddy.
Yes, right.
Now, girls, you must be careful. And watch out for that lightning, because it may be something...
I'm sorry, I'm going back to the
come back here. You're far too upset now. It's not your fault at all.
No, you'd better stay with us, Mrs. Gates, and try to calm down.
Yes, quite right. Now, listen. Don't worry about luncheon.
No.
It doesn't matter a bit about it being late. Not a bit. Now, you just stay where you are.
Well, on you go, Vicky. Run and tell your father what's happened, or we're going to lose half of the house.
It really is too much. Gates going off like that and leaving everything unattended.
Well, he couldn't have known that this was going to happen, milady. I mean, him and Jim got soaked this morning and he had to go home to change.
Well, they should have made sure the tree was safe. Are you feeling a little calmer now?
Yes, thank you, milady. I'm all right. I'll get on with the lunch
I'll
now.
come with you.
No, it's all right, thank you, Nanny. I can manage.
I don't know what the world is going to. There's no sense of duty left. A perfectly fit and healthy young man leaves his work and hurries home because he's got a little bit wet. Would have been unthinkable in my time.
But, Alice, he couldn't have known what was going to happen.
I would discharge the boy and reprimand Gates. Arthur's much too easygoing with the stuff.
But there's nothing happened yet. We may be lucky, you know.
No, you're quite right. I shouldn't jump to conclusions. But I still think they were wrong to be so slapdash.
Mrs. Gates, where are you going?
I'm going to get Fred.
Mrs. Gates, don't be so
He
foolish.
should be here. I'm going into Holbury by the bus
No.
and I'll get him.
No, Mrs. Gates, no, you stay here. That'll take far too long. Now, take
No,
your coat
if it's
off.
his fault, then it's
Now,
his
you're
fault.
far too
sir.
I know.
upset. Now, try and keep calm, dear.
I know he shouldn't have taken the time off, Nanny, but it was the only chance he'd got to get to the back to the coach. He wouldn't have done it
I
otherwise.
know.
Nanny,
We understand. Now, listen. I'm going to come down to the kitchen and help you get the luncheon ready. It'll take our minds off it, won't it? You know, this is really getting out of control.
If this old house gets damaged because of him slipping off, I'll never get over it, sir, never. It's all right. Please don't come down to the kitchen, sir. I can manage. I'll be all right.
Well, I'm going in the study, have another look at that tree.
Charles, it won't do any good just to watch it. Do stay here, please.
No.
I would like you to.
I think I'd better keep an eye on it, Alice.
Well, I'm coming with you. I don't want to stay here alone. What's that? Up there. There's something moving.
Where?
There's someone up the tree.
But you're absolutely right, in that fork. Good. But it's Jim Tapper. Look, and there's his bicycle underneath.
What's he doing up there? We must get him down at once.
Well, he's trying to cut the ropes. But he'll fall, he'll get himself killed.
Oh.
Tapper!
Oh, he can't hear you from here.
Boy, he must be absolutely mad.
Now, you two stay there and I'll see what I can do.
Arthur?
Yes?
Jim Tapper's on that tree with an axe.
A Tapper in this wind, he must be mad.
Quick, Laura, up to my room. We can see from my window. Right.
Tell him to come down. He's only a boy.
Damn young fool, he can't control that thing. Far too heavy. just keep that foothold, I'll go out and give him a hand.
Be careful, Arthur, if that branch comes down.
He's only a boy. There's nothing of him.
I know. That wind could blow him away like a piece of thistledown. Well, if he can just hang on there, keep his nerve. He's going to help tap. Look. It's cracking, it's giving way. Yes, the whole thing's coming down.
I can't see for all that mess out there.
He's disappeared.
Jim's hurt. Quickly, he may be seriously hurt.
Wait, Vicky, wait. Your father can deal with it.
But Jim may have been killed.
To your father, Vicky, dear, but he's out there. He can...
All right. It's all right.
Oh, gracious. Here, quickly, down here.
Jarred his ankle when he jumped down. Oh, otherwise no bones breaking, eh, Jim?
I'm all right, sir.
Yes, now, Vicky, would you get him a glass of brandy, dear? Laura, if you go upstairs, find a blanket, keep him warm. And then if you find a towel, dry him off a bit.
I had to jump when I knew it was going.
Yes.
You sip this.
I think you may be in luck, young man.
Stay still while I dry your hair, dear. I'll be careful while you're sipping that.
Yes, don't spill it.
Oh, no, good darling.
Now swallow that and I'll pour you a drop more.
Yes, and don't get him tight, Vicky.
Here we are. Shall I put it round
Good
him?
girl.
It's round his neck, really. That's
no.
Right, really?
You've had a nasty experience. You deserve to be made a fuss of, doesn't he, Daddy?
There you are, Jim. 4 females to look after you.
I'm sorry about the lawn, Commander.
No, never mind the lawn. It's a very brave, foolhardy thing you did.
Indeed. Very creditable, Tapper.
Yes. Yeah.
I was halfway home on the bike before I realised just how strong those winds were. Seems it was me who broke the saw.
Oh, no. You're a very brave lad, Jim. Wait to see if I can get you some tea. More better than that.
Right.
Brandy. Take that.
Well, there's no damage down at the farm as far as I could see, but I'd better get down and check. Charles, would you take the bridge? Vicky, if you'd run him a bath, then find him something warm to wear out of my wardrobe. Laura, you take good care of him until I get back.
We'll be all right.
Well, you do as I ask, young man. We'll run you home later.
Well, he got me bike.
Oh, you haven't, Jim. I'm afraid the branch came down and crushed it.
Oh, no, not me bike.
No, we'll see about that later. Don't you worry about that. Come on. You stay there.
I'll go and run you a bath, Jim.
And I'll get you something dry to wear. You can change in my room.
Thanks.
Come on, Laura.
Finish up your brandy, boy. Calm your nerves.
Oh, I do feel a bit strange.
Yes.
That shock. Just sit quiet for a while.
It's a very creditable action, Tapper.
I don't know what went and made me leave my bike underneath that tree. I should have had more sense.
Well, we'll see you get your bike back, one way or another. I promise you that.
Oh, it sounds as though it's done for.
It can be replaced.
May I give this to Jim, sir?
Yes, of course. You have that. You give me
There. It'll steady his nerves.
Yeah.
And when I see your mother, I'm going to tell her what a hero you were. Oh, I shall tell her myself. She ought to be very proud of you.
Oh, not really, Mrs. Gates. It was my fault in the first place.
Oh, no, it wasn't. No, I know full well whose fault it was.
Oh, it came down then. I was hoping it wouldn't.
Yes, it came down.
Yeah, well, it didn't do any damage. Yeah, was everything else all right?
Oh, yes. No thanks to you, of course.
Oh, that Tapper, he probably left me in the lurch with that branch half sawn through.
Yes, he just can't be trusted, can he?
Where's the commander?
He's gone to look round the farm stock and the buildings.
Well, that branch could have brought that whole side of the house down. We were lucky.
Yes, we were. And it would have done if somebody hadn't stopped it.
Well, come on, then. What happened? What are you looking at me like that for?
Oh, I'm busy. Go on, get out of my kitchen. I don't want to talk to you.
Well, come on, tell me what happened, for God's sake.
You'll find out soon enough. And then you want to watch out for yourself.
No. There's no reason why you should.
No, I insist, Arthur. Yeah.
There you are, Tapper. Oh. Say, you do look a picture, don't you?
Your old grey trousers fit him quite well, and I've lent him your tweed jacket with the elbow patches.
Oh, well, so long as he's dry.
Well, fetch him back first thing in the morning, sir.
Oh, that's all right, Tapper, no hurry. Hope your mother doesn't get too much of a shock when she sees you togged up like that.
Put your things in the airing cupboard. They should be dry by the morning.
Oh, thanks. Well, I better be getting back to me mum. She'll be wondering where I got to.
She should be very proud of you, Tapper. You tell your mother from me, she should be very proud.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right, now off we go.
Arthur, tell him about the bike.
Tapper, just a minute. Mr. Ashley and I, we're going to replace your bicycle. Buy you a new one. That's a promise.
Oh, it's very good of you, Commander.
No, not in the least. And don't rush off, because Gates is going to run you home in the car. Also tell him to put the remains of your old bike in the boot. You might be able to use it for spares.
Oh, it's very decent of you to offer to buy me a new one, sir.
Oh, it's not an offer, Tapper. It's a fact.
The car's here, Commander. All right, Jim?
Yeah, all right.
Oh, fine. Perhaps, Gates, you'd like to go along and collect him for work in the morning.
Oh, it's all right. I can walk.
No, not the least, Tapper. You must allow us to spoil you a little.
Your new bicycle will be here tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, thanks very much.
Gate, I'd like a word with you when you get back.
Very good, Commander.
Well, that's that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hello, Winchley, eh? Oh, Rosie. Oh, good Lord. Well, that's bad news. No, we got away very lightly over here. Yes, a branch of the tree came down, but very little damage. I'm sorry about Geoffrey's car. Thank goodness he's a motor car manufacturer. All right, I will. Goodbye.
Who was that on the telephone, Daddy?
Rosie Carpenter inquiring how we weathered the storm.
Oh, they've got it working again, then.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. No, the storm was just as bad over there. Tile came off the roof at Layford, went straight through the windscreen at Geoffrey's Rolls. Thank goodness he wasn't in it. Well, I might try and ring the agent.
I say, Daddy, are you going to tick Gates off?
Oh, I may, dear.
Well, please don't, Daddy. Only Mrs. Gates has had more than enough for one day. Well, she was terrified during the storm, and then she got quite hysterical when she heard Gates had slipped off without asking permission. So don't upset her any more by scolding Gates.
All right, my darling. Perhaps he can wait then.
That branch will need quite a lot of sawing, won't it, Daddy? And Gates is quite good at sawing, isn't he?
Is he?
You made your bets? Stick.
Stick.
You know, Laura's very impressed with Jim Tapper, Nanny.
Is she now?
Vicky.
Pay 20s.
Beats me. I only had 17.
You want to take more risks when you can afford it. Yes. Pay me, young lady, 21.
Oh, Nanny, you've cleaned me out. Did you ever go to Monte Carlo, Nanny?
No, I never did.
Well, you would have broken the bank there.
Well, now, off you go and wash your hands before dinner.
Now, you sound much better.
Oh, it's amazing what a wee bit of excitement can do for you. Yes, and very much better. Oh, we'll soon be through this winter. And then it'll be spring, and that'll be the first thing that'll buck me up.
You know, Granny's still feeling very guilty about Jim Tapper. She says she misjudged him.
Oh, only for a wee minute. And that's easily done when you're not just as young as you were. Well, I'm going to have a wee nap. So off you go, you girls.
Righto. I wonder what's going to happen to Gates.
Calm after the storm.
You wanted to see me, Commander? Oh, I've dropped young Tapper off, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, Gates. No, it was nothing. Do until tomorrow.
Well, I'm sorry about the mess, sir. All those branches on the lawn. I've had a look round, and Jim told me what had happened. I was rotten luck about his bike, sir.
Yes, it was. Anyhow, no bones broken. I'll see you tomorrow about clearing up the wood and relaying the lawn.
Very good, Commander.
I say, You let him off lightly. I'd have dressed him down properly.
I don't think there's any need, Charles. He knows when he's in the wrong.
Oh.
I see Herr Hitler's made another vitriolic speech. Frankfurt this time.
What plans have you got for Tapper, Arthur?
Well, it depends on what plans he's got for himself, Mother.
Well, Liz used to take a lot of trouble over him one time. Now, she doesn't seem to bother so much. I suppose she's got a lot of other things on her mind.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I wonder if Herr Hitler means half these things he says. It's extraordinary the things he comes up with. Like this Jewish international warmongering, this Bolshevism.
If it wasn't for Gates, you could give Tapper more responsibility, couldn't you? Train him up to be head gardener.
Yes, well, don't be too hard on Gates, Mother. He's usually very reliable.
He let you down at a very critical time, Arthur. I don't like that. It's his job to be on hand when he's needed, not to take time off without permission. I think you'd be much better off with young Tapper doing his work.
Yes, Mother.
You're not listening to me, Arthur.
Hmm? Oh, I am, dear. Yes, I am. I think we ought to call Hitler's bluff.
I'm not talking about Hitler. I'm talking about Tapper. You should promote him. Show your appreciation.
Mother, he'd be perfectly happy with a new bicycle. Now, please, you just let me handle it.
You should always show good servants that you appreciate them. That's elementary.
Well, I wish we could do something about him. He's a decent lad. I think he'll do very well.
I'll tell you this. If things go on in Europe as they are going on at the moment, then Tapper and all the young men of his age will have their future decided for them. They'll be in the army.
Well, with the sort of courage that he's got, he could do worse.
I can't see the end of it, Charles. I really can't. Sherry, anyone?
Yes, please.
Charles?
Thank you, Arthur.
I'd have had Tapper in my ship. In fact, I did have Tappers in my ship. I hope I treated them as well as they deserved.
Well, he's at a good age, you know. He's at an age when he can start to think responsibly.
No qualifications. It's not his mother's fault. She had a very difficult time bringing him up single-handed. Quite a handful on occasions, I believe.
Oh.
But yes, there might be something we could do for him.
Other than buying him bicycles?
Well, how'd you get on then?
All right.
Well, if he's not blaming you, I am. You've been wrong about that boy right from the start. Prejudiced.
All right, well, things have changed, I agree.
You better I'd agree. He was marvellous. And you coming sneaking back here with beer on your breath. And not the first time either. Oh, don't you think I didn't notice?
Well, I had 1 or 2 pints with the chap who drove me and I owed him something.
You owe young Jim something too. You owe him an apology for all the things you've said about him behind his back.
Yeah, well, just you leave it to me. I've straightened it all out. We had a little chat in the car and got ourselves sorted out.
Well, he looks up to you. You ought to set him a good example, instead of being so small-minded.
Yes, well, I'll see you later.
And don't think I'll forget about it, neither. When you go home, you can put a bottle in the bed, because I'm going straight to bed. Oh, this has been just about as much of a day as I can take. What with that thunder and lightning and that wretched cedar tree.
Right.
Oh. Fred, you would have gone up that tree and done exactly what Jim did if you'd been here, wouldn't you?
Well, I should hope so.
And I should hope I'd have been ashamed of you if you didn't. Close the door behind you.
I reckon you ought to help me saw that branch into logs. Take me days single-handed.
Yeah, well, I offered the commander. He said no. He even said it was a 2-man job. No, he said. More important work to be done in the garden. So here I am.
Yeah, well, they can't give you the Victoria Cross. That's only on active service. But I reckon it's the OBE for you, Jim. Oh, yes.
Don't mind really, do you?
No. Now, if that branch had smashed into the wall, we could have both been out of a job. But come Easter, you trench the potatoes and I'll stick 'em in. Fair's fair.
You all right?
Right, here we go then. Into action. Eileen, have you seen my...
Now, don't come worrying me, Fred. What with hot cross buns and all the extra work I've got to do.
Bit flustered today, aren't we?
Oh, I don't know I'm going to get through this weekend, I don't really. With Cartlands coming to lunch on Sunday, that means there'll be 11 to feed, including you, me and Nanny.
Boy, you manage more than that lots of times.
Oh, it's not just the meals, Fred. But with Lady Bourne, Miss Phyllis and Mr. Poole staying here, well, that's 3 extra rooms to do every day, and I've only got 1 pair of hands.
I hate bank holidays. It's all work.
I don't see why you should bother. It don't make a lot of difference to you.
Well, I like that. I don't do the garden at holiday times, I admit, but, well, I give you a hand, don't I? Washing up and...
Oh, I know. I'm sorry, Fred. It's just that I'm all behind somehow today. And that fishmonger still hasn't sent up the sole for tomorrow's lunch. Oh, if he lets me down,
He won't let you down, woman.
Oh, well, I wish I could be sure. This new man's just not reliable.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll send Jim up there to collect it before he starts on those windows. Would that suit you?
Oh, that would take a weight off my mind if you would, Fred.
Yeah. Well, I better go and find Jim then before he disappears somewhere.
Stanley Madison. I beat her easily.
Jack. Oh, you're back. Did you have a good game?
Not really. Court's rather damp.
Oh, you're just making excuses.
Liz beat you.
I kept slipping. Afraid we've chewed up the grass a bit.
Gates won't be pleased about that.
Well, it's spring. It'll recover quickly. Anyway, it doesn't get played on all that much these days. Well, I'm going to change.
Could I make a telephone call, please?
Yes, help yourself.
I suppose you want to ring your bookmaker again.
I can't afford to miss the opportunity to get my own back.
How much do you owe him?
Around a couple of hundred. But I've got a hot tip for Kempton Park on Saturday that should offset most of it.
Yes, I know your hot tips.
I've been thinking, why don't we nip over to Hereford on Monday? It's a special bank holiday card. Should be good racing.
Oh, I don't really think...
Hello. Yes, I want a trunk call to London. Mayfair 0999. Thank you. What were you saying?
I was about to say I don't really think we should.
I say, when you were playing just now, did it seem to you that the F sharp... Oh, I'm Sorry, did I interrupt something?
No, that's all right, Vicky.
What about F sharp, darling?
Well, the one above middle C, it sounded to me rather flat.
Well, I can't say I noticed it.
Oh, yes. Account number 582399, J. Poole. Yes, 25 to win, tidal wave, 3:30, Kempton Park, Saturday.
Seems all right to me.
Yes, it does now. Must be me. I'm feeling flat. Missing Laura, I suppose.
Where's she spending Easter?
In Bournemouth with Dame Violet.
Poor lamb.
And no Daddy here either.
I know, darling, but when you're nursing a constituency, you do have to do some rather boring things, like staying with a retiring member.
Sort of taking over the files.
Yes. Maybe he'll pop over Easter Monday. Westcomb's not far.
Hello,
I
yes?
hope so.
Can't accept. But my credit... Well, how much is it? You sure you haven't made a mistake? All right, forget it. Yes, I'll let you have a check to cover. Damn.
He's put the bar up.
How did you guess? The only trouble with racing is bookmakers are such obnoxious types.
I presume you owe him more than £200.
Yes, quite a bit more. Wants a check by return.
Sounds as if he was getting a bit nasty.
Well, insistent. I've dealt with him for years. You think the bound would stretch a point for an old customer?
Don't you mean benefactor?
I'm in a bit of a spot, Phil.
Why don't you talk to your bank manager? With your pool aviation prospects, he should cooperate.
I have, and he did.
Well, then.
That was last week.
Jack, you are really incorrigible.
It's my only vice.
Just as well. How much do you need?
Well, for the bookie, 4. If you could manage 700, well, just to tide me over till my pool aviation salary starts.
But I don't carry £700 around in loose change.
Well, could you manage 4?
Well, I don't know about it.
Oh, for God's sake, Phil. Surely you trust me.
Jack, it's not a matter of trust. I don't think I should encourage you to squander your money.
All right, forget it. If you don't want to help, fine. I'll get the money somewhere else.
Jack, you mustn't
Forget
think
it. Excuse me, I've got to get changed.
Which do you think? So that... Or?
Oh, the cameo. I've always liked that.
Do you remember when the Admiral gave it to me?
Yes. Did I do it? It was on your birthday.
I was 45.
As I remember it, he bought it in Naples when he was there at the Naval Review.
You have got a good memory. Do you remember when you gave me this?
Oh, could I forget it? When Phyllis was born.
That was a very special present. He always wanted a daughter. And this is the first thing he ever gave me. Belonged to his grandmother.
Beautiful, beautiful. You have some very fine pieces, Lady Bourne.
Well, they're mostly family heirlooms or sentimental attachments. Nothing very valuable.
Oh, but what about the pearl necklace? Left you by your aunt, wasn't it?
Oh, that was valuable, yes. That's in a vault at the bank. Oh, it seems a pity to shut away nice things. But there's no real occasion for wearing them now. And anyway, even the finest jewellery can't do much for us at our age, can it?
No, nothing can compare with the rosy cheeks and the sparkling eyes of the young ones, can it?
No. Well, we shall just have to do the best we can.
Yes, indeed.
I think I will wear the cameo. Goes well with this dress.
Yes, well, then I'll put the rest of it away safely.
Oh, thank you, Nanny. It doesn't lock very well. Oh. One of the hinges is off.
Oh, but you shouldn't leave it like that.
No, I know. I should get it mended.
Well, Gates is very good at fixing things. I'll see what he can do.
Oh, so he is?
Yes.
Well, I'll show it to him sometime.
Well, there's no time like the present. You lock your jewellery in that drawer, and I'll take this down and see what he can do.
Very well, Nana.
What time will lunch be tomorrow, Liz?
Around 1, why?
Well, I thought I might go to morning service.
It's 3 hours.
Yes, I know. They're doing Handel's Messiah.
The Winchley Choir, it'll be awful.
Well, they've got a guest organist, a student of Dr. Thaden Bohr. Well, I've heard him play at the Albert Hall last year. He's wonderful.
That's more than you could say for our parish choir. Still, if you think it's worth missing lunch.
Oh, Mrs. Gates can keep mine till I get back.
Oh, just as long as you don't expect me to come too.
I don't.
Will Phyllis be going with you?
Will Phyllis be going where?
To church tomorrow. They're doing Handel's Messiah with Richard Desmond as guest organist.
Oh, I'd love to. But I can't with Jack here.
The only handle he's interested in is the one that starts my car.
Got your fish, Mrs. Gates.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Oh, that's a relief, love, thanks.
Yeah, Mr. Dobson said to tell you not to worry, he hadn't forgotten.
Easy enough for him to say that now. Cup of tea in the pot if you'd like one.
Yeah, great.
I'll just put this in the cool.
Thanks.
And I want those outside windows cleaned.
Can I just get me tea first, Mr.
Yeah,
Gates?
but buck up about it.
What's it? I've been looking for you.
Well, you found me. What can I do for you?
Well, Lady Bourne wondered if you do a wee job for her.
Oh, what's that then?
Well, it's the hinge of this jewel case that's gone. The screws are inside in a wee envelope.
Let's have a look.
Think you'll manage to repair it?
Oh, it shouldn't be too difficult.
Oh, my. A wee tiny screwdriver you need for that, eh?
Yes. Hey, Jim, nip out to the tool shed. Bring me the smallest screwdriver you can find.
What, now?
Yeah, well, of course, now, you daft apeth. When do you think? Next week?
I'm just getting me tea.
Go on and buck up about it.
Oh, Lady Bourne's jewel box you've got there. Hey, she hasn't left us any old diamonds in it, has she?
No. Lady Bourne's got them all carefully locked away.
Oh, it is beautiful, isn't it, though? All that inlaid work.
Yes, native craft. Mother of pearl and ivory. Came from India, I believe.
Yeah, clever devils they are.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me if it hadn't been made for one of them Rajas.
Oh, it wouldn't be big enough for any of them. They keep their jewels in trunks.
Well, I'll leave it with you, Fred. Oh, and for goodness sake, don't damage it. If you can't repair it, then Lady Bourne will take it to London.
Don't you worry. I'll be careful.
Oh, I know.
Fred, if you'll take my advice, you'll leave that alone.
What?
No, don't touch it. It's a job for a jeweller, not an odd job man.
What, putting in a couple of screws?
Oh, there'd be a terrible fuss if you damaged it.
I'm going to tackle it with a small screwdriver, not a coal hammer.
Well, even so.
Oh, well, that'll do, Mr. Gates.
Oh, yes, that'll do. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, is that real pearl?
Yeah, and ivory.
God, what's that worth, then?
Oh, hundreds, love.
Hundreds?
Yeah, more than they'll pay you for working for years.
Oh, well, that's not right, is it?
What?
Well, there's people like my mum never had a halfpenny to bless themselves, and now she's got this box worth all that money.
Well, you can't expect her to keep her jewels in a toffee tin.
Well, that's another thing, isn't it?
What?
Well, I mean, what's she need all them pearls and diamonds and rubies for when there's people without enough to eat?
I think you better go and start on those windows, Jim. I'm not having any of that sort of talk here. Not with the by-election pending.
All right.
I reckon we're going to have to keep an eye on that lad. I think he's been listening to the Reds.
Oh, I know he reads that Labour rag, the Daily Herald, but he'll soon learn more sense.
Yeah, well, for his own good, he'd better. The working class have got to learn to accept their place. No good going around with green lights flashing in your eyes. We can't change it.
You going to be able to do that, then?
Ah, it's almost done. Yeah, there we are.
Oh.
Jack?
Huh? Oh.
You seem very quiet. Don't tell me you're sulking because I beat you at tennis.
Good heavens, no.
I thought Phyllis seemed a bit reserved, too. Have you been quarrelling?
I don't think that's any business of yours.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
No, I beg your pardon. That was very rude.
There's no need to apologise.
Yes, there is. I have no right to allow my personal problems to upset your house party.
But I thought with Pool Aviation Limited about to take off, your problems were solved.
Well, the engines are warming up. The chocks are away, but the checks aren't, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. But I gathered from Peter it's only a matter of weeks before you're fully in business. Well, you mustn't be impatient.
That's what I keep telling my bookie.
Ah, that's the trouble, is it? You're in debt and your new job hasn't started yet.
Elizabeth. Hello, Mr. Poole.
Lady
You're not
Bourne.
by any chance thinking of going into Horbury this afternoon?
I hadn't planned to.
Well, I've just dropped the Easter egg I bought for Vicky, and it's nothing but a squishy mess. I can never give it to her like that. I shall have to get another one.
I'll get one for you, Granny, on Saturday.
You won't forget?
No, I won't.
Then I shall rely on you, darling. My memory's not what it was.
Ah, there you are, Lady Bourne. Gates has managed to mend it for you.
Oh, how splendid, Nanny. Let me just look. Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. Nice. I shall be able to put my jewellery away properly.
Yes, indeed.
Jack, would you care for some tea?
Tea? No, thanks. If you'll excuse me, I've got some things I've got to do.
Watch it, the toast burning.
Oh, then see to it for me, will you, Fred?
Oh, it's a cinder.
Oh.
You'll have to do some more.
Well, then do it for me. Can't do everything myself. It's like running a blooming hotel, is this?
No great panic. Getting a bit of breakfast.
That's all right if they all want the same thing.
Oh?
Yeah, Nanny wants a boiled egg, her ladyship wants hers poached. Miss Elizabeth wants bacon and Miss Vicky cornflakes. Miss Phyllis insists on having coffee and all the rest want tea. Oh.
What about Mr. Poole? What's he want?
Oh, he's gone out for a walk. I suppose he'll be wanting his breakfast when I'm just about to start the lunch.
Out? I've never known Jack get up early unless he had to.
It must be the country air. He was hurrying off just as I got up.
What about his breakfast?
Said he'd have it when he got back.
Oh, well, I'm hungry. Let's not wait.
Look, I'll take Lady Bourne's tray up for you, Anne, and save you a trot.
Oh, thanks very much, Nanny. That's very kind of you.
Not at all, not at all. I just wish I could do more to help.
Right, here, Fred. Help me carry this stuff up into the dining room, will you?
Come in.
Good morning, Lady Bourne. Hope you slept well. Oh, what is it, dear? Anything the matter?
Nanny, I can't find my jewel box. Oh, I think it must have been stolen.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Gone. You've just mislaid it.
Elizabeth, I know I'm getting old, but I'm not completely senile yet. I locked them in a drawer of the dressing table, and they're not there now.
Oh, I'll go and look. I'm sure
they're quite right. I've looked in every drawer, every cupboard. They're just not there.
But it's impossible. I mean, we've all been here.
Well, go and look for yourselves. It's all the jewellery I possess, except my pearls that I keep in the bank.
I don't believe it. They must be up there.
They're irreplaceable, all of it. Gifts from your father, family heirlooms, things I bought because I thought they were so nice. All the things that I was hoping to pass on to you girls.
Granny, what's the matter? What's happened?
Granny's lost her jewel box.
I've not lost it, Elizabeth. It's been stolen.
Burglars? What else have they taken? Oh, I hope they haven't taken anything of mine.
Vicky, I'd better go and look.
I don't think anything in my room's been touched. I'd better check in Daddy's.
Now, you mustn't upset yourself, Lady Bourne. After all, the police may recover it for you.
It's the shock. I feel quite ill.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Will I get you some sal volatile or something?
Oh, no, I'm quite all right. You're sure nothing of yours has gone?
Mine? Oh, I've not even looked. I doubt if the burglars would be interested in me. I have nothing to lose.
Good morning, Lady Bourne. Nanny.
Good morning.
Oh, I say, I hope I'm not intruding. Is something wrong?
We've had burglars, Mr. Poole.
Good Lord. How awful. Did they get away with much?
Lady Bourne's jewels.
Oh, I say, bad luck. I am sorry. Anything else?
Well, we're not sure about anything else, but you better check and see that nothing of yours has been taken.
cufflinks, watch, cigarette case. Oh, my wallet. All correct. I've nothing else of value with me. I do hope your things are well insured, Lady Bourne.
No amount of money can compensate for sentimental value, Mr. Poole.
No, I should say
I don't think
not.
anything in Daddy's room has been touched. None of the drawers have been broken into.
I think you ought to call the police, dearie. I'm sure the commander would do that if he was here.
I'd better check with Mrs. Gates first, just in case she moved the box when she did the room.
Well, nothing belonging to me has gone. Oh, hello, Jack.
Hello. I'm awfully sorry to hear the bad news.
All my things are safe, thank goodness. Mrs. Gates, I wonder if you...
Oh, I saw Mr. Poole come in, miss. I was just going to see whether he wanted any breakfast.
Oh, I don't know. I just came to ask you whether you saw Lady Bourne's jewel box last night when you put the hot water bottle in her bed.
Well, I didn't see it then, miss. But I did see it earlier in the day when Gates was mending the hinge. Why, is there something wrong?
It's missing.
Missing?
Well, she says she locked it in a drawer on her dressing table, but it's not there now.
You mean somebody's stolen it?
It looks like it.
Fred?
Just a minute.
Never mind, just a minute. Come here, it's important.
Look here, Eileen, I can't be in two places at... Oh, morning, miss. Did you want me?
Yes, Gates, I was just inquiring.
Lady Bourne's jewel box has been stolen.
What?
She says she locked it in a drawer in her bedroom after you'd mended it. But it seems to have gone.
Well, just the box, miss?
No, her jewellery with it.
Oh. Well, is there anything else missing?
Not as far as we can see.
Have you called the police?
No, not yet. I wanted to know whether by any chance you or Mrs. Gates had seen
No,
it.
miss, we haven't.
Had the drawer in her ladyship's room been broken open?
I don't think so.
Have you checked to see if any of the windows have been forced?
No, we've only just discovered the box missing. Well, Gates, perhaps you could have a look at the window.
If you don't mind, Miss Elizabeth, I'd rather not.
Why?
That's a job for the police.
Yes, I'd better call them.
Well, it seems very strange to me, Fred, if we've had burglars, that the only thing missing are her jewels.
Oh, I don't see why. You've often talked about the stuff she wears. Must be worth thousands.
Yeah, but there's other things of value in the house, you know. I can't imagine any crook ignoring the best silver, for instance.
What are you saying, woman?
Whoever took that box knew she'd got her jewels with her.
Liz, can I have a word with you?
Of course.
I've just been up in Granny's room. The drawer has not been broken open.
I know. I looked. Someone used the key.
If that box isn't found very quickly, I'm going to have to bring in the police.
Obviously.
You think I should?
But of course. Oh, now, wait a minute, Liz. What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm no expert, but I don't think anyone broke in here last night. I mean, there's been no glass smashed or anything like that.
As you say, you're no expert. I think I know what you're thinking, and you are wrong.
I very much hope so.
I suggest you call the police right away and leave the detective work to them.
Very well.
Excuse me, Miss Phyllis. Do you happen to know if Mr. Poole wants any breakfast?
Oh, I'll find out. Oh, Jack, do you want breakfast?
Oh, coffee and toast would be fine, Mrs. Gates.
Oh, very well, sir. It'll be ready in the dining room in 5 minutes.
Thank you. Has your mother found her jewellery yet?
No. Where were you this morning, Jack?
Out for a walk.
That's unlike you, getting up so early.
I couldn't sleep.
Worrying?
That's right.
You know, I would always find a way to help you if things were really desperate, don't you?
Now she tells me.
What do you mean?
After a sleepless night.
Oh, I see.
What did you think I meant?
Nothing.
Lady Bourne's jewellery is missing. Well, the jewel box was locked in a drawer in her bedroom. No, nothing else has been taken as far as I know. No windows have been broken. Thank you very much. I'll be expecting him.
Diamond brooch. That's gold. With how many diamonds?
5. 1 at each corner and 1 in the middle like a dice. Oh, I did love that brooch. I should be terribly sad if it's gone for good.
Oh, you'll get it back, Lady Bourne. I'm sure you will. The police are very good at tracing things, you know.
I can't understand how anyone got in here, Nanny. I'm a very light sleeper. I'm sure I would have woken up if someone had come in while I'm in bed.
Might be while you were in the dining room.
Well, I was a bit tired. I couldn't be bothered to get out the box and put away the cameo. But I still can't think how they got in here.
Well, if you ask me, it's been one of those what they call cat burglars. Climbed up the drain pipe and in at that window. It seems the
Yes.
most likely.
Yes. Oh, I've just remembered something.
What is it?
Jim Tapper was up on a ladder cleaning that window yesterday afternoon.
Oh, but Jim would never do a
I
thing.
didn't know he was there until I looked round and saw him watching me putting my jewellery away.
Police are here.
Constable Leggett, is it?
Oh, CID. Detective Sergeant Webster from Hereford.
Oh, will he want to question us, do you think?
Well, of course he will.
Shan't like that. Make me feel like a criminal being questioned by police.
Not very nice for anybody when a thing like this happens.
You've made a list of the missing articles.
Yes, I
Good.
guessed you would want one.
Thank you. Now, can you give me some idea of the value, Lady Bourne?
The things that were missing were insured for £4,000.
Mm-hmm. And the jewel box was locked in this drawer, was it?
Yes, that's right.
After you'd locked the drawer, Lady Bourne, what did you do with the key?
Put it in my handbag.
Mm-hmm. Did you leave your handbag in the room?
Yes, I did.
Who else has access to this room, staff?
Yes, Mrs. Gates when she cleans and makes the bed.
And me, I'm in and out doing things for Lady Bourne.
I see. What time did you last see the box, Lady Bourne?
Well, when I put it away, about 4:30 yesterday afternoon.
Well, the drawer's not been forced. Whoever opened it used a key. Any idea who?
Well, I think I ought to tell you that the boy that Commander Bourne employs for odd jobs was cleaning that window yesterday afternoon.
Granny!
I'm not making any accusations, Elizabeth, but Tapper was watching me put away my jewellery.
Was he? How long has he been with you, Lady Bourne?
A couple of years, but it's most unfair to suggest that
Don't
he...
worry, Miss Bourne. Everyone's innocent till they're proved guilty. Now, is there somewhere I can interview your staff?
Yes, you can use my father's study.
Thank you. I just want to brush the drawer and the window frame for fingerprints, if you'll excuse me.
Hello, Miss Lisbeth.
Hello, Jim. I wonder if you could find me some daffodils for the hall.
Yeah, how many do you want? There's a whole stack in the bed up by the orchard.
Oh, about 3 dozen, I should think, if there's enough.
Yeah, I'll get them, bring them up.
Thank you. Has Gates said anything to you?
Oh, what about? Am I in trouble or something?
Is there any reason why you should be?
Oh, not that I know of.
Well, that's all right then.
Is it? Look, what's up? I can tell. Something has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. My grandmother's jewellery is missing.
Missing?
It's been stolen.
What, you mean you had burglars?
Well, I don't think anyone broke into the house last night, but the box has been taken from her room.
What, that valuable one, all inlaid with pearl and ivory?
How do you know what it's like?
Well, I was in the kitchen when Mr. Gates was putting the hinge back on.
Oh, I see.
Here, you don't think I was...
No, Jim, I didn't.
I've had to get in the police. They'll want to ask you questions.
Well, why me?
Well, not just you. Gates, Nanny, everybody. You mustn't take it personally, Jim. It's just routine.
Yeah, routine, but I'll be the one they'll suspect.
Why?
Well, on account of me being in trouble before.
Look, Jim, if you didn't take it...
If?
As you didn't take it, and I'm sure you didn't, you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well, that's all very well, but if they can't find out who did take it, they'll pick on me. Well, they say give a dog a bad name.
How can you possibly think I would stand by and see you wrongfully accused?
Oh, well, sorry, Miss Elizabeth, I know you'd stand up for me, but I bet they all think I pinched it except you.
And whoever took it.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that past Gates.
Jim, that's most unjust.
Well, it had to be someone. He knew the blame would fall on me.
That is a wicked thing to say.
Yeah, well, as I say, it had to be someone. And he's had more chance to get in that place and pinch things than I have, and that's a fact.
So you don't actually sleep in the house?
No, the wife and I have the house at the top of the drive.
Well, who locks up at night, then?
Miss Elizabeth, when the commander's away.
But you got a key?
To the back door, yes.
Was the back door properly locked when you arrived for work this morning?
Oh, you'll have to ask Mrs. Gates that. She was up here first. Get the breakfast ready.
I see. You ever been in trouble with the police, Mr. Gates?
No, I have not. Neither has the wife.
I have to ask these questions.
All right. It's not very nice for a chap like me. An old Marine who's been honest all his life to come under suspicion.
There's no question of suspicion, just making inquiries.
I hope so. Because I'll tell you this, if I'd fancied a life of crime, I wouldn't be working here for a few quid a week, and that's for sure.
Quiet. Now, I need your help, Mr. Gates.
Oh. Oh, well, if there's any way that I can be of assistance...
Inside jobs, always tricky.
And you're sure that this was an inside job?
Pretty certain. Must have been someone who known the old lady kept her jewellery here. And where her room was. It's all he seemed interested in.
Yeah, so I hear.
Could any of the guests have...
Oh, family? Except Mr. Poole. Yeah, from the little I hear, I reckon he might be a bit hard up until his business gets cracking.
Poole? Thank you. Now, what about this lad who works for you? What's his name?
Well, Jim Tapper.
Ah.
Well, he's been in trouble for pinching things before, but, well, nothing big like this.
Lady Bourne says he was outside the room cleaning the windows. He saw her putting her jewel box away.
Well, I dare say that's right. He did do the windows yesterday afternoon.
Well, could he have nipped in over the sill while she wasn't there?
Well, simple enough. Mind you, I'm not saying that he did.
No, of course. Did you see him after he'd done the windows?
Yes, I did.
Was he carrying anything?
Yeah, a bucket of water. He went down to the potting shed to put it on the plants.
Could the jewel box have been inside the bucket?
Come to think of it, it could. It'd be well hidden under the water.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gates. That'll be all for the moment. You better send that lad in now.
Yeah, very good, sir. I'll get him to bring you a cup of tea.
That's very civil of you.
You think anyone in this house will remember to offer me a drink?
I'm sorry, there's such a panic on this morning.
If you don't mind, Phil, I think I'll go back to London tomorrow.
What?
It's so dreadfully dull here this weekend, with all you women looking as though your horse has fallen at the last fence.
Oh, but you can't do that, Jack. It's terribly rude. How would I explain it to Mother and Liz? They'd feel dreadfully insulted.
Tell them my brother's been taken ill or something.
But what about me?
What about you?
Well, I feel insulted. You should even suggest it.
Oh, come on, old girl. You know how I feel about you.
Well, I'm beginning to wonder if I do.
But look at it from my point of view. Being the only chap among... how many is it?
You'll be seeing Peter Cartland on Sunday.
For a couple of hours, and we shan't be able to talk business over lunch, so what's the point? I'll see him in London next week.
There's more to it than that, isn't there, Jack?
I don't know what you mean.
You're running away, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, I am. I can't stand the atmosphere here.
What about it?
Oh, come on. Do you think I don't know that most of them think I swiped the wretched jewels?
Nobody said anything.
They don't have to. It's in their faces. Of course, it couldn't be one of the family or an old retainer.
Well, that's not surprising, but...
Vicky gives me suspecting looks, and Liz can scarcely resist an outright accusation.
What did the detective ask you?
The same as he asked everyone else.
Well, what did you tell him?
All I know. Nothing. He asks me a few questions about my financial situation, very discreetly, of course, so someone's been blabbing about that.
I'm sorry, Jack. I didn't realize it was so embarrassing for you. But you must stay till the end of the holiday, or anyway, until the thief is caught. Well, don't you see? To go now would only increase suspicion.
It's all very well for you.
Oh, please stay. For my sake.
Well, if you insist.
He's gone.
That detective?
Jim, I reckon he's done a bunk.
Oh, no.
Well, he's not in the potting shed and his coat's gone. I've been down the garden, everywhere, not a sign of him.
Oh, the little fool.
I reckon he's really done it this time. Well, I better go and tell that detective. He's waiting to see him, to question him.
His name's Tapper. James Tapper. He's been in trouble before for stealing. Yes, I've got his address, number 4, Council Cottages, Layford. He's wanted for questioning in connection with a larceny at his place of work, Larkfield Manor, Winchley. Yes, I'm there now. Get a car round to his home. If he's there, bring him back here, will you? Yes, fast as you can. Thank you very much. Well, with any luck, we'll have this nicely tied up by the time we go to bed tonight.
Well, I just hope you get the jewellery back, that's all.
Oh, dear, 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 the silly fellow. And I was so sure we were going to be able to make something of him.
Well, so was I. In fact, I'd really grown quite fond of him. Oh, I know Fred said I was soft. I suppose you were right. But I still can't believe it.
I find it very hard to believe Jim would ever steal from us.
And the awful thing is, it makes you think such terrible things about other people.
I'm ashamed to tell you who I've been blaming.
Oh, I know. And Miss Elizabeth thought the same. Oh, I could tell by the way she was looking at him.
Thank you, Constable.
Look, you've got no right to send no car like round like that in the middle of the day.
right, sir.
Neighbours watching me, mum in tears. What are you trying
All
to
right.
do?
Now, where is it?
You mean the old girl's jewel box?
How did you guess?
I never took it, honest.
Now, listen, son, that's not going to help you. Best thing you can do is admit it. Tell us where you've hidden the stuff and you'll get off lighter.
I haven't had it, I tell you.
Then why did you run away?
I never run away. It's Good Friday. Mr. Gates said last week I could take a half day off. Most people get the old day.
Not in my line, they don't. Too many young crooks around. Now, you knew I wanted to talk to you, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah, you didn't stop to find out, did you?
Well, why should it? I never nicked her flaming jewels. I don't know nothing about them.
That's what you say. But you have a criminal record.
God, that bike, I borrowed it. That's why they let me off. You asked the commander.
You were found guilty. They bound you over. That's not letting you off.
Yeah, won't you ever let me forget it?
Now, never mind that. You were at the window when her ladyship was putting her jewel box away yesterday.
I cleaned her window. I don't know what she was doing in there, middle of the day.
Did she go out of the room while you were at the window?
Well, I don't know. As soon as she saw me there, she pulled the curtain across on my face.
And you never entered the room?
No.
Come in.
Excuse me, sir. I just found this, hidden under a sack in the potting shed. They're my old gardening books.
That's right. Mrs. Gates put them on the dustbin, threw them out. Said I could have them because you'd bought some new ones.
Well, she never told me.
Oh, never mind. They're not what we're looking for.
Yeah, and you won't find them in the potting shed neither. Not unless someone's planted them. Come and search it. Come and search my house if you like. I've got nothing to hide.
All right, son. That'll be all. You can go now.
Am I going to get left back in that police car? Have I got to walk?
You cheeky young devil. You think yourself lucky I'm not charging you.
What with?
Obstructing a police officer, sourcing your betters. I'll think of something if you don't be quick. Out! Out!
I wish I'd gone to church with the others now. Might have helped to take my mind off things.
Now, there's no need of brooding over your jewels anymore, Lady Bourne. You get properly cheered up when the Cartlins come.
I don't feel much like facing anybody today.
Morning, Mrs. Gates.
Jim, whatever are you doing here on a Sunday?
Mr. Gates in?
No.
Miss Elizabeth, then?
Well, she is, but she's very busy preparing for a lunch party. Is it important?
Yeah, it is to me.
I want to wait till Tuesday.
No, I want to do it now while I'm in the mood.
Come and sit down a minute, Jim. Got a couple of hot cross buns here. Quite like the meeting up. Could you help me out, do you think?
Yeah, if you want to get rid of them.
Right. Bit dry. I'll put some butter on for you. There. No sense in wasting them, mister.
No.
There. I expect you'd like something to wash them down with.
Yeah, thanks.
There, Jim. Now, if you'll tell me what it is that's so important, well, I'll go and see if Miss Elizabeth can spare you a couple of minutes,
You've come to give me notice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I want to do it today so I can finish up next weekend.
You got another job to go to?
No,
Don't you think you ought to wait?
I don't want to work here anymore.
Because of last night?
Yeah. As soon as something goes missing, straight away they all think it's me.
Well, the times are very hard, you know. Jobs are hard to get.
I don't care. Listen, I know I was stupid over that bite, but I'm not a thief. I'm not to stay here and be treated like one.
Look, Jim, you weren't alone. We were all questioned by that detective.
Yeah, but I was the one who was arrested, wasn't I? Police car coming round in the middle of the day, neighbours gaping at the windows, me mum in tears. The coppers treat me as if I was a piece of dirt, and not one of them's had the decency to apologise.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Oh, well, you don't have to say it, Mrs. Gates. I mean, well, you've always treated me like, well, a second mum almost.
And I'm sure Miss Elizabeth never really believed you'd taken it.
They all did when Mr. Gates said I'd scooted.
Oh, well, that was entirely Fred's fault. Don't be hard on him, Jim. He just forgot what day it was. You see, he was upset like all of us.
Yeah, well, I can see that, Mrs. Gates, but all the same.
Jim, I didn't expect to see you today. I owe you an apology, lad. I didn't have a chance to say it the other night.
Oh, well,
You know, with all this trouble, it quite slipped my mind that I told you could go early. And when that detective wanted to see you and you were nowhere to be found, well...
I can see how Mr. Gates.
I hope you can. I feel real bad about it.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's forget it.
Good. What are you doing here today, anyway?
Well, I come to...
He just came to collect this little Easter cake I promised him for his mum.
Oh, that's nice. Well, have a good holiday, Jim. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Happy Easter, Jim.
Yeah, same to you, Mrs. Gates. Thanks.
One medium and one dry. Right.
So the police don't have any idea at all about who the culprit might be?
No. Lady Bourne, she must be heartbroken. Thank you, Vicky. I know how I should feel if I lost my jewellery.
Oh, yeah, she's dreadfully upset, of course.
Sherry, Peter, Jack, or would you like something else?
Well, actually, I prefer a scotch.
So would I too, please, Vicky.
Both with splash?
Yes, please.
I'd prefer mine unadulterated.
Oh, I don't know how you could.
Thank you.
You look a bit down, old boy.
I'm afraid we're all very tense over this wretched burglary.
Haven't the police caught anybody yet?
There's no sign of a break-in, so it's inside job, they say. And we're all suspects, and I'm number one.
You're joking.
You talk to Liz. I'm the one with the motive, you see.
Oh, nonsense.
It's true.
I'm sure Liz didn't think for a moment.
Of course, it's no secret that I'm somewhat financially embarrassed until we get pool aviation moving. Of course, we haven't got round to outright accusations yet, but...
Should jolly well hope not.
It's unthinkable to believe that the thief might be a member of the family.
He was obviously a servant.
Oh, no. All old retainers. Except for one snotty-nosed youth, and he seems to be in the clear now. So that leaves me.
I see. Awful for you, isn't it?
You cut the atmosphere here with a knife. I was all for going back to London yesterday, but Phyllis thinks that would somehow prove my guilt.
Here we are.
Thank
one
you.
with splash and one without.
You got a drink, Vicky?
Yes, mine's over there.
Well, happy Easter.
You're referring to next year, of course. Bottoms up.
Chocks away.
Miss Elizabeth, luncheon's quite ready now.
Oh, can it wait a few minutes, Mrs. Gates? We're still waiting for Lady Bourne.
Oh, very good, Miss Elizabeth.
I hope Lady Bourne isn't so indisposed she's not going to join us for lunch.
Oh, no, Granny will be down in a minute. She likes to make an entrance, usually.
It's the privilege of the aged and the beautiful.
So you'll have a long time to wait.
Cheek.
Oh, you ready?
No. Lady Bourne's not down yet. Oh, if she doesn't hurry up, everything's going to be ruined.
But did one of the girls not go up and tell her?
No.
Oh, well, I'll go. She can't possibly know that they're waiting for her.
Oh, thank you very much, Nanny. That's very kind of you.
I came to tell you, Lady Bourne, that the lunch is ready. They're all waiting for you.
Oh, thank you, Nanny. I'm looking for my suede shoes.
Oh, your good ones. Are they in the wardrobe, perhaps?
No, I can't see them.
Maybe you left them still in your dressing case.
Now you mention it, maybe I did. Now, where did I put it? I pushed it under the bed.
Get it? It's locked.
Oh, dear. There's the key.
Thank you, dear. Oh, Lady Bourne, look.
Nanny, there it is. Oh, my precious jewel box. How could I have been so stupid? I remember now. You see, I hid it away when I saw that boy on the ladder because I was afraid he might see it and be tempted. Oh, dear. Oh.
Vicky, go and hurry Granny up, will you? Mrs. Gates will be frantic if the lunch gets ruined. Go on.
Oh, I'm so sorry about the delay, everyone. I hope you're not all starving. It's just Granny's in such a state about her jewellery.
Would you like me to go up and talk to her? I really don't mind.
Look, why don't we just toddle off home? You don't want us hanging around your necks with all this chaos and confusion.
Oh, please, there's no need to.
Oh, Nanny, isn't it a relief?
Well, are they all there now? You better look, Lady Bourne.
Oh, yes, I must.
Oh, dear.
Excuse me, Granny, only they're waiting for you. You found them! Oh, where were they?
Under the bed.
Oh, that is good news.
Well, I'm going to take refuge in my schoolroom if you don't mind.
Oh, Vicky, isn't it a relief? But what am I going to say to them all?
Oh, they'll all be so pleased.
They won't, you know. Not after all the trouble I've caused. What will that police inspector think of me? And it'll be all round Helbury in a trice. They'll say, you know, Arthur Bourne's old mother is practically gaga. I mean, she can't remember anything at all. That's what they'll... Oh, and Liz will be so angry with me. And your father when he hears. Oh. And Phyllis. She'll probably try to have me sent away somewhere. I can't face them.
Oh, of course you can, Granny. Well, you haven't done anything wrong. Well, they should all be jolly glad you found your jewels, not angry. Well, anyone can forget. You know, I went down to breakfast the other day without my shoes. Just forgot. Come on, I'll be with you.
Yes, of course. I must go down and face them.
If only it were next week, we could all pretend it was an April Fool's joke.
Oh, I don't think the police would quite appreciate that, darling.
Oh, come on, Mother, darling, do. We're all ravenous. We shall start devouring each other in a moment. Vicky, what are you smiling about?
Granny has found her jewels. They were under her bed all the time.
I'm very pleased,
Mother.
Lady Bourne.
Oh, you must be so relieved.
So I'm sure it's your insurance company.
Well, of course I am relieved, but I'm also terribly ashamed. And I do owe you all an apology for being so idiotic. Liz, dear, please take your guests straight in to lunch. There's something I must do.
But, Granny,
No, do as I ask. Please, darling. I'll join you in the dining room in just a moment.
All right, come along, everybody.
Could you both spare me a moment?
Yes, my lady.
I've come to tell you that I've found my jewel box, or rather Nanny did, and it was in my room all the time.
Oh, I am pleased, milady. That's wonderful news.
Indeed it is. It's a great relief.
Thank you. But I owe you both an apology.
Oh, no, milady, there's no need for that.
Oh, yes, there is. It's horrid to be questioned by the police and made to feel a suspect. And it was all my stupidity.
There's no need to apologise, my lady.
I'm afraid I'm getting old and absent-minded, but I am very sorry.
We're just glad that the stuff's been found.
I knew you would be. Well, I'm thankful that's the end of it.
Oh, if you'll excuse me, my lady, it's not quite all.
What?
Well, there's Jim.
Oh, Tapper.
Yes, if you don't mind my saying so.
Of course I don't. He was suspect too. I'll talk to him on Tuesday when he comes to work. Thank you, Gates.
You got a cheek saying that.
Why? Jim's got feelings too, you know, Fred. And he was the one who really got hurt.
Well, Jamie's 15. He passed into upper school last half, and that's the third cake you've taken, Vicky.
I know. Disgusting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, I know he's a bit young for you and Liz, but I thought perhaps you could act as elder sisters to him during these few days.
Oh, of course we could.
Well, your father's all for it. It's just if Nanny can manage.
Oh, Nanny's thrilled. Haven't you heard her singing all over the house?
Nanny's singing? Good heavens.
I know. Just after lunch, I heard her singing. I love a lassie.
A bonny, bonny lassie. Rather. Oh, I can't believe it. I've never in my life heard... Yeah.
Charles, you've got a very loud laugh.
Have I, Alice? I am so sorry.
It's not polite to laugh loudly. What were you laughing about?
We weren't really laughing, Granny. We were talking about the boy who's coming to stay.
Yeah.
Boy? What boy? I see no boy.
Oh, dear me.
James Hamilton, Granny. He was in Grandpa's house at Eton. Didn't Daddy tell you?
There were some Hamiltons at Dobbs Castle. Used to breed canaries. Can't think why.
Fancy breeding canaries in a castle.
You'd think they'd breed something larger in a castle.
Like bulldogs? Or rhinos?
Or elephants. An elephant would fit very well into Dobbs Castle. It's enormous and quite round. Where are you going, Charles?
Out. You have completely disrupted our conversation.
Well, I thought you were trying to tell us something.
Well, I was, but you obviously don't wish to hear it.
Oh, don't be so huffy, Charles. Of course we want to hear what you've got to tell us, don't we, Vicky? Now, stop hovering.
What?
And either go or stay and sit down.
Oh, very well, Alice, very well. I was just telling Vicky about young Jamie Hamilton, who's coming to stay, and I want you all to be very nice to him.
Aren't we always nice to our guests?
Especially nice, Grandpa means.
Why?
Because he's had rather a rotten time, Alice.
Oh?
Well, his parents are divorced.
Oh, I don't approve of divorce. It's getting more popular every day.
May I clear the tea things away,
Ah,
please?
Mrs. Gates.
Yes, Mrs. Gates.
Yes.
We have finished.
Yes.
Oh, just a moment, Mrs. Gates. Do you think Jamie will have had tea on the train?
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Oh, well, if he hasn't, he can always have a biscuit or something to last until dinner.
Oh, very good, Miss Elizabeth. Oh, did you make up your mind about the pudding?
Oh, yes, I thought some stewed fruit and ice cream.
All right, I could make those apples into a puree.
Oh, yes, please, would you?
I'll do that right away, miss.
Thank you. That cake was delicious, Mrs. Gill.
Oh, thank you, Mr.
I did manage to get one before Miss Vicky got most of
glad you did.
them.
Nanny's dealing with the linen, and I put a towel in his room. Can't think of anything else I should be doing.
Yeah.
Did you know a boy was coming to stay with us?
Yes, Granny, I did. I've just put a towel in his room.
Lived in the castle.
Oh.
Which one did you say it was, Charles?
No, he doesn't live in a castle, Alice. Quite the reverse, in fact.
Oh.
Persevere, Grandpa.
When you've had your tea, Jim, you can make a start on digging over the potato patch.
Oh, right. Oh, Miss Vicky asked me to work the hen coop so the new bantam chicks can't get out.
Yeah, well, you can do that after.
Right. You sure you wouldn't rather dig over the patch yourself and let me go and meet the train?
No, I would not. You haven't had enough practice yet on the Umber Snipe, Jim.
Shouldn't you be going, Fred?
Yeah, in a jiffy.
What train's the boy coming on?
Oh, 5:16.
Mm-hmm.
And the poor little parish are going to get any tea, then?
Yeah, if he's hungry, he can have a nice glass of milk and a piece of cold pie.
Where's he going to sleep?
In the attic bedroom, next to Miss Vicky's.
Oh, nice little room, that. Used to be Ivy's in the old days, the old housemaid.
Oh.
Oh, hello, Nanny. You come for the clean sheets?
Well, did you manage to iron them for me, Eileen?
For you, I made the time, Nanny.
Oh, dear, thank you.
And Miss Elizabeth's put a clean towel in the young gentleman's room.
Oh, good, good. My, it's a long time since I had a wee boy in my charge.
I understand that he's all of 15 years old, Nanny.
Ah, just 15. A year or two younger than our Jim here.
Not exactly a chap. Well, let's hope he doesn't give you any lip. Not like some I know.
He's fine.
Here we are. Hiya, Jamie. Now, that's Vicky and Jamie, and this is Liz.
Right, do you have a good day? Grandpa, introduce him to Daddy.
Yes, I will. Well, come along, Jamie. This is your host, Commander Bourne.
Hello, James.
How do you do, sir?
Well, it's nice to see you. You have a good journey?
Yes, thank you.
Well, he's a good man.
Well, that train gets up a fair turn of speed, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Jamie, did you have any tea on the train?
No, you didn't. Oh, well, Mrs. Gates will get you a glass of milk and a piece of cold pie. Would you like that? Jamie? No, thank you. You wouldn't? I'm not hungry. Are you sure?
Oh.
Yes, thank you. Oh,
Well,
Perhaps you would like to come up and see your room.
yes. Yes, that's a good idea. You go up with Liz and see your room, old chap.
It's in the attic next to mine. It's jolly nice up there. You can see out over the garden.
And your cedar tree. Don't forget your beloved cedar tree, Vicky.
Oh, yes. You can climb right to the top of that tree, Jamie. Do you like climbing trees?
I don't mind.
Well, you better run up and see your room, old chap, huh?
Oh, I'll take him up, Liz.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with Vicky then. Come on, then.
Oh, come along, young man. If you go with Vicky, up you go.
Did your aunt arrange any treats for you? Oh, right, we'll do something nice.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he'll be all right. When he gets to know us a bit, he's rather overwhelmed.
Well, he doesn't have much to say for himself, does he?
He seems very shy.
Gone 6. What about a whiskey and soda, John?
What? Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you, Arthur.
Here we are. Well, I think it's a sweet little room. Don't you? Well, it's got a marvellous view. Come and have a look. Ah, there's my beautiful wounded cedar tree. It's got a big branch missing. Came down in a storm. Oh, we'll climb to the top of it tomorrow if you like, Jamie. Shall I help you unpack?
No, thanks.
Well, now, where you go, young lady? Time to dress for dinner. I'll see to our young guest.
All right, Nanny. See you downstairs, Jamie.
Now, I'm Nanny here, and you're James Hamilton? Jimmy? Well, now, shall we put your things away? Oh, you brought your dinner jacket. Isn't that nice? Ah, I'll hang it up here, shall I? There we are. Now then. Oh, and books. You've got books with you.
I'll take those.
Yes, you do, dear.
I'll put them over here.
That's right. Yes, now, pyjamas. Oh, what's this?
That's my stone.
Oh, it's very pretty. Where did you get that?
I found it.
Did you?
On the beach once.
Yes. Now, oh dear, where's your woolen jersey? Do you not have a woolen jersey to wear, dear?
Don't need one.
Oh, yes, you do. You know, it's a wee thing cool here in the evenings.
I don't need one.
I just want to see about that. Now then. Now, you haven't brought much, have you?
I don't need much.
No, of course you don't. Right. Now, well, then, that's done, isn't it? Now, did someone show you where the bathroom is?
Yes, the girl showed me on the way up.
Oh, yeah, that's Vicky.
Yes.
Vicky, yes. Oh, very well, then I'll leave you to wash and change. And you'll wear your dinner jacket and just come down when you're ready.
Yes.
And now, if there's anything at all you need, I'm right on the floor below. My room's there.
Thank you.
Very well, now, do you wear a watch?
No.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. There's a clock by your bedside. And dinner is at 8.
Yes.
So, I'll go and leave you to get on with it. Fine.
There. Finished. There are, Jamie. You unfold it as you're our guest.
Yes, come on, let's see, Jamie. What? Good.
Oh, let's see.
I say it rather reminds me of Mrs. Hedges.
Grandpa!
It does, look.
Oh, look at those knees.
Thank goodness gracious, he's taller
Am I
than me.
allowed to have a look at it?
Oh, yes, so sorry, Mother.
Thank you. Oh, my dear, what a terrible monster. But it's all disconnected. I must, I don't think it's very funny.
Oh, well, have another go
dear,
now.
dear.
Round this way.
Oh, yes, all right. Right, hang on, that one's a piece of paper. Oh, all right, Granny, you can start. Draw a head, Granny.
Head. With a neck?
Oh, yes, with a neck.
Don't peek, Vicky.
Right, children,
That's right.
don't peep. There we are.
Here? The body, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Jamie.
Now, let's see, it'll be
Your
me.
turn. Could I go last?
Oh, yes, I don't see why not, Jamie. You go last, righto. Now, what do I have to do?
Oh, it must be the knees, Grandpa.
Knees. What, by themselves?
Why not? It'll make a change.
Oh, all right. Pair of knees coming up. One of them's dimpled. There you are. Oh, no, it's
I've
you.
got to draw the lower legs.
Oh.
Okay.
Vicky.
There we are.
There you are,
James,
Jamie.
your bit.
There. I wonder what we're...
Oh, come on, Jamie. Feet can't take all this time.
Well, perhaps he's taking pity on the monster. I gave him a very good pair of boots.
Gosh, this must be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Perhaps we shouldn't talk while it's being executed.
Yeah.
Being what?
Executed.
Finished? Can we see it?
Let's have a look. Jamie, what is it? Let's see.
I don't think anyone really wants to see it. It's really rather silly. Well, that was all great fun, but personally, I'm for bed now. Anybody else?
Yes, me too.
Yes, I feel quite sleepy.
All right, dear. I'll take that for you. Yes, there we are.
Well, I think I'll come too. Come along, Jamie. Let's all go up together. Good night, my dear Liz.
Good night, Grandpa.
Good night, Arthur, old chap.
Good night, Josh. Good night.
Night, Daddy.
Oh. Oh, Liz.
Are you coming too, Vicky, dear?
Yes, dear, just a moment. Before you go up, why did you crumple up that piece of paper with Jamie's drawing on it? It wasn't very polite, was it?
I didn't want anyone to see her, especially not Grandpa.
Well, why ever not?
Well, to be quite honest, Jamie had drawn something Well, a bit strange.
Strange.
Well, not something you'd expect a well-brought-up schoolboy to draw.
Well, tell me, what was it? Oh, come on, tell me.
Well, it was a repulsive-looking sort of animal with all its entrails hanging out and what looked like blood running down.
It was awful. I was really worried. He was shouting and crying.
Well, anyone can have a nightmare. You ought to know that.
Oh, yes, but my bad dreams are the same one every time.
Mate, it's still a nightmare.
Well, that's true. So what do you think we ought to do about it?
I think we should tell Nanny.
Well, I've done that just now. She's letting him sleep a bit.
Well, quite a touch of spring this morning.
Yes, there's indeed. It's quite warm. I think I'll leave this open.
Morning, girls.
Morning.
What are we going to do today?
Oh, we thought we might take Jamie into Horbury and have lunch at the Copper Kettle and see a film if there's anything worth seeing.
Well, if there is, I might come with you.
Why not, Grandpa?
And I thought I'd buy Jamie a late Easter present. Well, I don't think he's had one.
Oh, well, you mustn't spoil him, Vicky.
Don't you think he needs spoiling, Grandpa?
Possibly.
Look, here we are. When the storm breaks.
Oh, sounds a bit lurid for you, Charles.
All right, I like lurid films.
Oh, Commander, Mr. Ashley, would you help me, please?
What is it?
It's that wee boy. I just don't understand. I don't know what's wrong.
Nanny, come and sit down. You're shaking.
My dear.
You see, he came here without a woolly jersey, and it gets kind of cool in the evenings just now, so I found him one in a drawer, one I knitted for my wee nephew. I knew it would be the right size, so I gave it to him. Well, it was a perfectly good jersey, but he refused to wear it. And when I insisted, he seemed to go quite crazy, and he screamed at me and pushed me against the table.
Oh, Nanny, are you hurt?
No, it's just my arm a wee bit. No, that's nothing.
Well, the young hooligan, I'll see about it.
But what's the reason, Mr. Ashley? You know him best of all.
Well, I don't know. I thought I knew him, Nanny, but I can't...
Well, I can assure you he was just like a wild animal, screaming at me and shouting at me, and, attacking me.
Right, I'm not having this. I'll have a word.
No, but
Guest or no guest, a word with Master Hamilton.
Arthur, please, just a minute.
No, Charles, now, how dare he?
No, please.
I ain't shout at Nanny like that, push her about, nothing but a young bully.
But, Arthur, there are reasons. Please let me handle this.
Look, he sounds nothing more than a spoilt little brat who should know better.
No, Arthur, it's just the opposite, don't you see?
No, Charles, I don't.
But he's not spoilt, Arthur, but I'm afraid he's no ordinary boy.
Yes, well, that seems clear enough.
But he's my responsibility, Arthur. I brought him here. Let me handle it, please.
Oh, very well, Charles.
Oh, thank you.
But I hope you will make it quite clear to that boy that I will not tolerate that kind of behaviour in this house.
No, of course. Just leave it to me, and thank you, Arthur.
Oh, how's Nanny?
Now then. Oh, Jamie, I want to have a word with you. It's all right, Jamie, it's all right. There's nobody else there, it's only me. Now, you're not afraid of me, are you? Look at me, Jamie. Jamie, Now look here, my lad. This won't do at all, you know.
I won't wear that jersey.
Why not?
It's red.
Yes, so it is. Splendid colour. And it's nice and warm, too. Here, feel it.
I'm not touching it. It's horrible. Take it away.
I understand that Nanny gave you this jersey.
I won't wear it.
But don't you think it's wrong to hurt people's feelings like that?
It's red.
Now, James, you'll get up off the floor, put on this jersey, and go straight down and apologize to Nanny.
No.
You appear to dislike the colour red, Jamie, but I can't think why. I mean, after all, when you're in the house foot-a-side, you'll have to wear red, won't you? A red shirt. Red with black stripes, eh? Oh, very well, Jamie. There. We won't bother about wearing the jersey now. But I want you to get up and dress. And you can put on anything you like. I don't mind what it is. And you will go downstairs because breakfast is getting cold. They all want to be nice to you, Jamie, and make you feel that you're one of the family. Do you hear me, Jamie? Jamie!
Yes.
Right. Now, will you promise me that you'll get dressed?
Yes. All right.
There's a good lad.
But I think it's shocking bringing a child like that to stay, don't you, Fred?
I do.
Oh, dear, that boy, screaming and shouting, and he just wouldn't wear the jersey.
Why ever? No, for heaven's sake.
Because it was red.
Why red, I wonder?
Oh, said he didn't like the colour. Just being awkward, I suppose.
Oh, dear.
Red. Colour of blood.
Oh, now, Fred, none of your fancy-fine. He's just a very naughty boy. He ought to be whipped.
Oh, I'm not so sure. I seem to remember reading in a book once that some people are afraid of red.
Is that a fact, Fred?
Yes. Well, it's not their fault. It's some sort of phobia that they've got.
Oh,
hey, well, I never.
Well, if the boy's wrong in the mind, he should be seeing a doctor. Oh, well, I'll away upstairs to my schoolroom. I have some sewing to do, and thank you very much for the tea.
Oh, that's all right, Nanny, love, there. And if you want anything, you know where I am,
Yes,
don't
dear.
you? Don't worry. Ah.
Ah, there you are, Charles. I sent the girls out into the garden. But how is he?
Well, I've talked to him. I think he's going to be all right. But where's Nanny?
I sent her down to the kitchen to have a cup of tea with Mrs. Gates. I've really seen her so upset.
So sorry, Arthur.
And so am I.
Well, I finally persuaded him to get dressed. But not, I'm afraid, in Nanny's jersey. I think we better avoid that subject for the time being.
What do you mean you're going to let him get away with it?
No, it's not a question of letting him get away with it, but I don't think we ought to press him on that subject. You see, he seems so frightened of the colour red.
But afraid of a new jersey? I mean, it's absolute nonsense.
No, it isn't nonsense, Arthur. You didn't see him. He was absolutely terrified.
Well, you know best, Charles. I hope you insist that he apologises to Nanny.
Well, of course, that goes without saying.
Well, I suppose...
What's...
Say something's come down.
What on earth's happening there? What is it?
Whatever's that noise?
Came from the schoolroom.
Oh, no, it's never that laddie again.
Oh, my God!
Jamie. Oh, how could you? Oh.
Jim, now you've not seen this young gentleman that... Oh, no, of course you wouldn't know what he looked like, would you?
What, the young man who's staying for the weekend?
Jamie! Jamie! Oh, can't find him anywhere.
Oh, perhaps he's gone out for a walk.
I don't know, we've been looking for him for the past half hour. He's not been in here, has he?
No, we've been trying to mend this for the past half hour. What's the matter if he's gone out anyway?
Never you mind. Jamie! Jamie!
Well, I know it's not my place to make remarks, Mrs. Gates, but this boy may as well be royalty, the flaming fuss they're making of him. Clean sheets, special food, cars to meet him at the station, I don't know.
Oh, it's something you wouldn't understand, Jim. Never mind, you get on with your tatting. You keep out of it all. Now, Miss C, I've looked in the cellar. Oh, dear, where on earth can it be?
Oh, Mrs. Gates. Oh,
I am
I
sorry,
do beg
Mr.
your pardon.
Ashley.
Sorry.
Well, he's not in the kitchen or in any part of that house at all.
No. Well, he's not in the garden either. Not a trace of him. But the commander's still out there looking.
Well, Gates has looked in the lodge, the gardens, all the outbuildings. I'll tell you what, I'll run upstairs and look in the spare rooms and see if he's there.
Thank you, Mrs. Gates. Thank you.
Good morning, milady.
Good morning, Mrs. Gates. Oh, what is all the commotion about? I've heard nothing but crashes and awful noises ever since I was up and dressed.
Yes.
And people seem to be running up and down the stairs as if the house was on fire.
Yes, Alice, I know. Well, it's nothing. You mustn't distress yourself. It's just that young James Hamilton has done something rather foolish, and now we don't know where he is. I don't think I can stay and talk about it at the moment, Alice, dear, so if you could get on with your reading or your sewing, if you don't
well,
mind.
It looks as if I shall have to if nobody's going to tell me what's going on. What are you standing about for, Charles?
What? Well, I just want to find that boy.
Oh, Vicky, do tell me what's going on. I hear that boy has done something foolish.
Foolish? Oh, Granny, I wouldn't call it foolish. Well, Nanny's in an awful state. She thinks it's all her fault for giving him that wretched jersey.
What wretched jersey?
Oh, the red one. Well, I must go and see if I can find him. Excuse me, Granny. Grandpa, what's the matter?
What? Oh, Vicky. Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Oh, you look awfully tired.
No, I'm not tired. I'm just a bit worried, that's all.
About Jamie?
You see, he depended on me. He trusted me. I've let him down.
Oh, Grandpa, how can you say that? You haven't done anything wrong. Well, you've been nice to him.
No, Vicky, I didn't understand him properly, and... well, now he must be so desperately unhappy, poor little chap. You know, I've worked with boys all these years, and I thought I knew them. I thought I knew everything there was to know about them. And then this child comes to me, and I'm too stupid to understand him.
I don't think you're stupid.
Oh, Vicky, dear. You see, Vicky, when I was his housemaster, he was very young. He was a new boy. But he settled down quite quickly, and he was no trouble at all. Well, then, about the time I had to give up my house, his parents got divorced, his home fell apart, and my successor, Hugh Pemberton, he didn't seem to see anything wrong in the boy beyond a certain reluctance to work and a certain lack of discipline, perhaps. But somehow Jamie couldn't confide in him, so he used to come to see me on Sundays at Datchet. He trusted in me, do you see? And I've let him down. Now, that red jersey was a pointer to his state of mind. He has a genuine fear of the colour red, you know. It's not unusual. But I should never have missed such an obvious danger signal. It was so clear. And now, well, he must feel completely let down and alone and desperate enough to break up the schoolroom like he did. Now we don't know where he is.
Grandpa.
Ah, dear Vicky. Come. Let's go downstairs and find the others, shall we? Then we must think of the new place where we could look, which we haven't been. I know, at the end of the kitchen garden. Has anybody been there?
I looked absolutely everywhere. I simply can't think of another place. I am going to have a drink. Charles?
Yes? Well, oh, thank you, Arthur.
I must say, I could have done without this.
I'm sorry, Arthur. Don't know what to say.
It's a nice state of affairs.
Well, I didn't know that the poor lad was as bad as this.
Didn't you?
Well, of course I didn't. Otherwise I wouldn't have brought him here. I mean, I knew he was unhappy, of course, but not like this. He needs help.
Oh, you mean some sort of mental doctor?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure.
Well, surely, Charles, you think he's deranged?
Well, I just don't know, Arthur.
Oh, I see.
Well, I suppose you could call it deranged, but I think confused in his mind would be a better way of putting it. Well, whichever it is, it obviously stems from his unhappy upbringing.
Charles, what are we going to do? I just sit here until somebody pulls his body out of the river?
What? Well, I hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, it could, you know. Chap in that state.
No, Arthur, no. No, Jamie wouldn't do a thing like that, I know. No, we shall just have to sit here and wait. When he's ready, he'll come back.
I wish I had your faith. Look, I can't stand this. I'm going to have another look round the place. He must be out there somewhere. Yeah. There you are.
Arthur.
Now, where the blazes do you think you'll be...
Arthur, please. Well, Jamie, good morning. Been for a walk, have you? Bit cold this morning, isn't it?
Oh, did you see Gates out there? We've been looking for you all over the garden.
Yes, he wanted to tell you that the girls are all ready to take you into Holbury.
James?
No, Arthur, leave him.
I suppose he's gone up to his room.
I expect so. Yes, he'll go up there and he'll brood a bit, and with any luck, when he's decided that he's done enough to gain all our attention, then he'll come down again and behave normally.
Charles, are you going to let him get away with this? Wrecking the schoolroom? Hiding away like this? Driving us half out of our minds with worry?
It isn't a question of letting him get away with anything. He wants our attention.
Attention? Well, my word, Charles. I'll give him attention.
Whatever's the matter?
I'm so absolutely fed up with that wretched, awful boy ruining our holidays.
I know. It's awful, but please, Vic, you mustn't.
We've done everything we could to make him feel at home and happy. And he does this awful thing to the schoolroom. Nanny's room.
I know,
Vicky, what's the matter? Darling, why are you crying?
Daddy, it's so horrible. He's mad. Why did you let him come here?
Well, actually, darling, it was your grandfather, but...
Oh, how could Grandma do such a stupid thing? Well, that boy's made such a mess of the schoolroom. He smashed Nanny's little favourite clock. We're willing to do whatever we can to help someone who's worse off than ourselves. But this boy's mad, Daddy. He's mad. Why did Grandpa let him come here?
Oh, now,
Is
come
he
on.
mad too?
Come on, Vic. Now, it's not your grandpa's fault if the boy's a bit... You see, we've just got to try and help Jamie.
But we have. What more could we have done? We've done everything we could think of to make him feel at home and happy. And look how he's repaid us.
Yes, darling, I know it's true. You've both been very kind to us.
Perhaps he's so unused to people being kind to him, he can't respond.
Oh, there, now. I think Liz is right. Grandpa thinks his problems go very deep. Now, the boy's had a wretched upbringing. He feels that no one's ever wanted him. See, he needs a family.
Well, Laura hasn't got a family either. But she doesn't smash things up or hide and sulk.
Oh, no, look, darling, when a person is very badly hurt, and especially a child, and Jamie, big as he is, he's still only a child, then that person wants to hurt back. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
And we just have to be patient. Not get upset ourselves, because that's not going to help Jamie very much, is it?
No.
We just have to let him settle down and realise we're not like all the other people he's ever met, and that we're not going to desert him.
Is that what he's afraid of?
Now, that's what your grandfather seems to think.
How awful.
So it's fear that's making him behave like this?
Yes, dear.
I just wish he'd come down. It's spooky, him hiding away like this. What's he doing up there?
Look, if anyone can persuade him to come down, Grandpa can.
Hello, Jamie. Well, there's a sensible chap. Now we can have a proper talk. Well, Jamie, aren't you going to tell me what all this is about? Oh, come on, Jamie. Jamie.
Keep away.
Very well.
Don't come any closer.
Is it all right if I sit here at the end of the bed? There. Oh, what is it, Jamie? What's the matter? Aren't you going to tell me?
Everyone's angry.
Nobody is angry. Jamie, what are you planning to do with that? I'm not a loaf of bread, you know. I hope you're not going to slice me up for tea. Jamie, I'm no threat to you. I wish you'd believe me. You've got to trust someone, you know.
Charles?
Yes?
Where are you?
I'm in here, Arthur, in Jamie's room. We are just having a little talk. Oh. Well, Arthur, we won't be long. Are you waiting tea for us still?
All right, Charles. If you're quite sure.
Yes, oh, quite sure. Don't worry about us. We'll just finish our little talk and then we'll come down, won't we, Jamie?
Everything all right, Daddy?
Yes, your grandfather can deal with it.
Deal with what?
I think we ought to get in touch with Dr. Cropper.
Dr. Cropper?
Wednesday 6-1, please. Liz, you stay here. Oh, is the doctor there, please? When will he be back? I see. Well, if you would. Oh, it's Commander Bourne speaking. Well, we have a young guest here who I think is in need of special medical care.
Jamie, I know it's hard for you to talk, but as long as you don't, we simply can't get anywhere, can we? Jamie, I really must insist on you answering me. You know, these long silences are beginning to get me down. Come on, Jamie. Do you try and tell me what's wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong. Leave me alone.
I will not leave you alone. You don't want to be left alone.
Yes, I do.
Oh, no. Now, Jamie, you broke up that schoolroom for a reason.
What reason?
It was a cry for help.
A what?
A cry for help.
That's stupid.
And now we have to find out why. Why you need help.
I don't want your help. I don't want anyone's help.
Oh, yes, you do.
I got angry. I don't know why I did that to the nursery. We had a nursery in our house. But no one was ever there. Not Mother. Not Father. Not a nanny like the lady you've got. She's nice. My nanny was young. She didn't talk to me very much. And my mother and father only came to say goodbye sometimes when they were all dressed up, going away. And then only my mother came after that. And then she just went away. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be, sir. I feel all bottled up, as if I'm going to burst.
Is it because you feel that nobody wants you? Is that it, Jamie?
Yes.
Well, it's not true, you know.
It is true. No one has time for me. I'm always in the way, like you just said. Nobody wants me. Nobody likes me.
I like you.
You can't.
Why can't I?
Because you can't like me.
But of course I can.
But there isn't anything to like.
On the contrary, there's a great deal to like. Well, I mean, you're intelligent.
That.
Yes, that. And you've got a sense of humour when you give it a chance. And you're loyal and you're honest and a whole lot of good things. You know, you ought to have somebody to hold a mirror up beside you so that you can see yourself as you really are.
But I hate people so much sometimes.
Well, you mustn't be afraid of those sort of feelings. We all have them, you know, one time or another.
I bet you don't.
Oh, yes, I do. And quite recently, in fact. When I lost my daughter and my granddaughter.
You mean in the fire in that hotel?
Yes. I hated the fool who had left a lighted cigarette about and started the blaze. I would like to have killed that person. You know, Jamie, you and I are in the same boat, really, aren't we?
What do you mean?
Well, you're alone, and so am I. And you feel an outsider, and so do I.
You, sir, but you have a family.
Well, not really, Jamie, now. No, my link with the family was broken when I lost my daughter. I loved her very much. I never had a son. But if I had, I would have liked him to have been like you.
Like me?
That's what I said. And I repeat, I like you very much. And so would the family if you'd only give them a chance. You must believe me, Jamie. But first of all, you've got to learn to like yourself.
I don't know what you mean.
No, but you will one day. And these feelings you worry about, it's only natural for you to feel anger and hatred because the world really hasn't been very kind to you.
But, sir, people keep leaving. Going away and leaving.
I won't leave you. I promise you.
But why would you stay?
Because I want to. Because I care about you. And because I want something from you.
From me?
I'm lonely too, you know. And it's a terrible thing to be lonely. My wife died many years ago. And now my daughter. I wish I had a son. Or perhaps you could be that son. Well, Jamie, I don't know about you, but I really am starving. Shall we go down and see if those greedy girls have left us anything to eat? Hmm?
Is the car ready, Daddy?
Yes, it's outside, dear. There's no hurry. It's only just 10 to.
Shamey's got to go.
Oh, I thought you'd be exhausted, Nanny. After a whole week with a wild wee laddie.
Oh, he's not wild anymore.
Ah, hurry up, young man. We missed the train.
There's the wee lad. That's right.
It's tired, Mary.
That's better.
Thank you, Nanny. Well, goodbye, Jamie.
Goodbye.
You're coming back to see us, aren't you?
Yes, thank you. And thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Bye-bye, Jamie.
Goodbye.
I've got a little present for you. It's a book about aeroplanes. You can read it on the train.
Thank you.
Well, come along, young man. Missed the train. Come on.
Oh, Jamie.
There you are, Nanny. Oh, these are for you.
Oh, no.
It's all right. The commander said I could pick them from the garden.
Bless you, laddie. That's lovely. Now, go on with you now. Where you go?
Come on, young James. Yes, this is your present.
Goodbye, Liz. Goodbye, Vicky. Come and see you off. Goodbye, Nanny.
Bye, dear.
Bye.
See you soon now.
Goodbye.